We're gonna be crafting today, and we're going to be crafting with paper. Y'all, this is one that do not underestimate the power of paper.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say that other than do not underestimate the power of paper.
Yeah, period.
I love it. I think you can do so much with it. And we're gonna be creating a very, very cute little tag for a Halloween bucket, Halloween candy pail, whatever you want to call it.
We're kind of putting like a fun modern spin on like a classic pumpkin trick-or-treat bucket.
Yes. So we're taking the classic trick-or-treat bucket, making it our own, and you all can really customize it to whatever you want.
Yes.
We did pink, but that doesn't mean you have to do pink. You can do whatever color you want.
A matte black would be like,
oh my gosh,
chef's kiss, or like, I don't know, you can match it to your costume.
You could match it to your costume, absolutely. Yeah. Now, let's go ahead and look at this adorable, I mean, so stinking cute. Can you even?
No, I mean, literally cannot.
I love this, I love this. So, this started out as this. So, the materials that you are going to need for this project is just your standard Dollar Tree,
Walmart for $1.97, I think.
Pumpkin. Like I said earlier, some people call this I personally call this a candy bucket.
I want to know what you all call it. We were calling it, I call it a trick-or-treat bucket, a trick-or-treat bag.
Do you call it a pumpkin pail? Do you call it a candy pail? Do you call it I don't know.
It's like the difference between like soda, like we call it Coke.
Soda and pop. Coke, soda, and pop.
Coke is Southern that's a general term for
it's always, I'm gonna go get a Coke.
And that can be like a Sprite, a root beer, a ginger ale, anything.
What we did use to paint this, sorry, let me move this out of the way. We used, and we'll go overhead, the Krylon Color Max paint and primer. This is what we used for this one. I do think it does make a difference to go ahead and get a spray paint that has a paint and a primer in it, because this is orange. So it's gonna be hard to cover orange. If you can't find one that has paint and primer in it, I would get a white primer. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I would get a white primer and spray it first if it's a light color that doesn't have a primer already in it.
Yes.
So,
for sure.
If you don't get one that has...
Love it.
But I still think that I would get the Krylon Crystal Clear, whether it's matte or shiny, it doesn't matter. But I think I would personally spray it with that first before putting this on there if you plan on keeping it. Because if you don't, I can promise you this paint will chip. Just letting you know. It's gonna chip. Okay. Other than this, can you type the Krylon Crystal Clear Matte?
I'm linking everything. For some reason, none of our links were in the description, but I'm adding them all right now for you.
QQQ. So, back overhead, the next thing you're going to need is a light grip mat or something that will hold your paper. Light grip, well-used standard grip, either one is fine. This is a brand new light grip. It's pretty sticky. So that one should be fine. The next thing you are going to need is some type of cardstock. Now, y'all, you've heard it. If you've been here around the channel, you know that the only brand of glitter cardstock we use here in this office is going to be Ashley Falco, Celebration Warehouse, shed-free glitter cardstock, because y'all, look at this. Zero glitter. Zero glitter.
It's the best.
I literally cannot stand glitter cardstock, and I kind of feel like, is this, oh, nope, this is also her shed-free. Everything on here is shed-free. Lovely. Yes. So no, it doesn't matter what color you use. Are these two? Does she have two different oranges?
I think so.
Okay. So these are two of the oranges that she has. This one is the champagne. This one is light pink. This one is, actually, I can already tell you, I don't think this one is hers. Is it?
Is it shedding?
Yep, a little bit. I think this one came from Hobby Lobby. We'll set that to the side. And then her black. That is, I love it. Love it. So these are all of the different, we're not going to use all of them. We just brought them all in here to give us options, depending on what color you want. So cardstock, that's what you're going to need. Other than that, we do have ribbon, as you can see here. That is what we are going to tie onto the side of our bucket. And then we have either, this is the Super Tight Precision Craft Glue or Zig two-way pen. We've also heard from you guys that you love the Barely Art.
Yes, like the precision tip Barely Art glue.
Barely Art glue. So you can use any type of adhesive that you like using with your paper crafting. So with all of that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into crafting. Now, I'm not going to paint this bucket today just because it takes it a while. I can't do it on screen. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take it out. You want to protect the surface that you will be spraying this on and a little perimeter around it. You can, if you want to, take a sanding block and kind of scuff up this plastic if you want to. That will help it adhere to the plastic as well. We don't have a sanding block here, but if you'll just kind of do a light sand on the whole pumpkin, that will help the paint adhere to it. And then you're gonna take your spray paint and you're just gonna give it a good coat. Like I said, we're not doing that on the live today. We can't do it here. I would have to step outside. But that's what you're gonna do to paint your pumpkin. Now,
and also take your handle out.
Yes.
Before you paint, pop your handle out. It should just like kind of pop out.
I'm trying to see if we can. It is a little harder to pop out.
Yeah.
So, can you?
You should.
Did Holly? I mean, I'm afraid to break it.
Well, that's all right. Don't pop it out. You can always just tape it up.
Yeah, I would probably tape it up if it was me. Okay, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump over to Cricut Design Space. Let me go to my projects and I'm going to find it. Beautiful. Here we go. And then here. So we have fonts missing. Daisy Patch. Beautiful. So what we're gonna do here is our finished product, but before we get there, we are going to hop over to the Makers Gonna Learn website. Let me get there just real quickly. And we are going to be using the Daisy font today, Daisy Patch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop over to fonts. If it loads, you can choose what font you want to use. Any of these would be great. The Frightmare would be cute if you're going for more of a spooky thing, but we are going to go to Daisy Patch and we are going to download this font to use in Design Space. So how we're gonna download that is we're gonna click this arrow pointing down. From there, it's going to pop into our downloads. We do need to open that up. You're going to need to unzip the font, which I just did, and then from there, we're going to double click it again. Now, if you are on a Windows computer, you're gonna have to right click and then extract the font, and then you can upload it to your character map. If you have a Mac, this is going to be into your font book. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click Install Font. That is going to install on our computer. But to be able to use it in Cricut Design Space, we'll have to hop back over and we're going to have to go to View and Reload, and that's just going to reload Cricut Design Space. And now you're going to see that there is not that red error message on the top of our canvas where it was before. So now it is recognizing that we do have Daisy Patch uploaded on our computer. So now that we have that font, I'm going to hop back over to Makers Gonna Learn. We are gonna go to our cut files and we are going to choose, I'm pretty sure we just used a standard jack-o'-lantern one because I don't think it is linked down below.
And you can really use whatever shape you want. Like if you wanted to do a ghost, you could do a ghost, a bat.
Let's just look for a little ghost. So if you wanted to use a ghost file, you can just type in ghost. Like, these are so cute. Let's just use this one today.
Oh, yeah, I love.
I'm going to download this one. You can see I have it here. If you want to use the jack-o'-lantern, I'm just gonna type in Jack because I don't know if it's in there as space or if it doesn't have spaces on it.
It's called, hold on, it's linked below for you guys, but it's called something, hold on, like pumpkins, I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll just look for pumpkins.
Yeah, it's like pulling up just the PNG like right when I click the link.
This one?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay, so if you want to use the jack-o'-lantern, this is the pumpkins, and I'll download that just so we can do both and you can see both of them. We did also have one with a bat. If you wanted to make one with a bat, there is a really cute one here that looks like a bat, and we're gonna teach you how to do these letters in Cricut Design Space. So, with all of that being said, I'm gonna hop back over to our share screen. I'm going to double click these files and make sure that they get unzipped. So there is one unzipped, and then the ghosts are zipped, so now there are the ghosts. Now what I'm gonna do is come back to Design Space. What you need to do next, and boop, did not mean to do that. Let's just go ahead and attach these and hide this, and we're gonna attach these and hide this too. So we're gonna act like these aren't here. Should have grouped, but it's fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to upload. We are now going to upload the file that you want. So you're gonna need to go to upload image. Now you can either browse or we can drag and drop. So what I like to do is bring in my Finder. You can see here, we do need the SVG version. So I'm going to drag and drop that SVG there. You can see it pops in very easily. We're gonna go to continue and then upload. So now what we're gonna do, after we have done that, we are going to ungroup these because they are all separate colors and separate layers. And now you can choose which little ghost you want to do. I don't know if I want this little guy or if I want this little guy.
I like the purple one and the top left one are my favorite.
This one?
Yeah. I low-key like the top right though too.
I know.
That would be a boy's ghost.
You think that would be a boy's ghost?
Yeah. Like, I want to put a bow on that one.
On this one?
That one, yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to put a bow on that one too.
Yeah. I think we should put a bow on one.
Okay.
Is that too extra?
No, not at all. We'll do either one of those, but if you do want to put a bow on it like we do, we're going to pop back over here and we're just going to type in bow. We're going to find us a cute little bow.
I love to add like a little bow, especially if it's for a girl. Just like a simple.
Like this one?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, so this is a good example of how we can take this and manipulate it because I just like that bow portion right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna download that. Once again, we're gonna unzip it, make sure it's open. I'm gonna hop back to Design Space. I'm gonna go to upload, upload image, bring my Finder back in. I don't need this guy back there, but I do want the SVG of this bad to the bow. We're gonna go to continue, upload, and once again, this one also comes in, we do need to ungroup it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of this portion, and now we just need the bow there. So I'm gonna go to contour, and I'm going to contour out this word bow. Beautiful.
I love it.
And now we can just add a little bow to our ghost.
That's so cute. I love her.
Okay, I think I do want to do this one.
I feel like she's like reaching her hand out. She's like, give me my candy.
Hi, how are you?
Or yeah, mine was way more aggressive. She's like, can I have some candy, please?
So after you've chosen whether it's a bat, a jack-o'-lantern, a ghost, whatever, and you have it uploaded into Design Space, now what we're gonna do is we are going to add in our name. So I am just going to type in Ruby. I'm gonna change the font. So I'm up here on my font selection, I'm going to go from Cricut to System Fonts, and I'm going to type in Daisy Patch, and I'm going to change the font to Daisy Patch.
Cutest font ever.
Love it. Just like this. And now what I want to do is I want to add a layer of separation from the name and the ghost. So I'll change the name Ruby. Let's just change it blue so you all can see the difference, okay? So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to select the name Ruby. Now, this is where I need you to pay attention if you're wanting to learn how to do this, because this can be confusing. Okay, so I'm selecting the name Ruby. I'm coming up here to offset. I am going to put an offset on the name Ruby. Now, this can be as large or as small as you want. You can see, and I'll zoom in and let's go back up here to offset. You can kind of see how big that 0.25 is. If that's the size you want it, great. But I'm just gonna tell you it's gonna cut off this whole bottom half of this ghost. And honestly, it may already with what we're trying to do, but I don't want it to be that large, so I'm gonna come down and see what a 0.1 looks like. And I feel like that's what I want. I think I want 0.1, and I'm gonna hit apply. Now, once again, I'm gonna change the color of this so we can see. Okay, so now you kind of see how much of a separation we have between the name Ruby and the offset. So the next thing that you're going to need to do, once again, if you're not paying attention and you want to learn how to do this, please come back because there are going to be questions on how I just did this. Okay, so over on my right hand panel, without touching all of this here because it's exactly where I want it. So working from my layers panel on the right, I'm going to select the ghost. You can see it now has a bounding box around it. I'm going to hold my shift key down, and I'm now also going to select my offset layer. So now you can see the ghost and the offset layer are both selected. Only 2 layers are selected. Now that I have selected these 2 layers, I'm going to come down here to the bottom and I'm going to select slice. Now, it looks crazy, I know, hear me out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that slice result and this slice result. And that slice result. And now you can see we have a layer of emptiness around our name.
It makes the name pop more.
It really does make the name pop. Now, if we want to add the bow, I'm gonna bring it forward because actually, I probably should have done the same thing here.
Just do it.
So we're gonna do it again, but with the bow. So with the bow, because I still want to add a little bit of a layer of emptiness between the bow and the ghost, because after we do all of that, we're gonna put an offset on everything. Okay, so this is the same thing that we just did to the name. We're just doing it to a different section. So once again, working from my layers panel on the right, I'm selecting the bow, holding my shift key down, and selecting the slice result, which is our ghost. Now, if you want to, while we're here, let's talk about renaming, because you can rename once you slice, it's going to rename it as slice result. So just to keep it all clear, you can rename this as your ghost layer. Didn't know if you all knew you could do that, but you can. So I'm going to select the ghost. You can see it now has the bounding box. Shift key is held down on my keyboard and selecting the bow.
Wait.
I need to add an offset first. You're right.
I was like, unless you're doing something crazy.
Thank you. Okay, so I've added the offset. I'm gonna do the same offset on the bow as I did the name Ruby.
That's a good design rule to follow too.
Yeah.
Using the same thickness of offset, like on all of your slice offsets.
Yes.
It just looks better.
Okay, so we have our ghost, and we did add a 0.1 offset in case you all were wondering. We have our ghost, and now we're at the shift key held down. We're going to select our offset, not the bow. 2 layers, because you can only slice 2 layers. We're gonna come down here to slice. It's going to look crazy for a minute, but then we're gonna get rid of all of our slice results except for the big portion of the ghost. So this guy, and this guy.
Ooh.
Now we have our cutie patootie little bow.
I love it.
I am obsessed. So now what we need to do is we need to select all 3 layers. Now, the reason that we select all 3 layers is because we want to offset on everything. We don't want to attach it. We don't want to do any of that yet because these are all going to be cut out of different colors. So we're going to select all 3 layers, and now we're going to come back up here to offset, and we are going to add an offset. Now, this is still putting a 0.1 offset on there, but I do actually want a little bit bigger of an offset to go around the outside of my ghost. So I'm gonna see what a 0.2 looks like. I'm thinking a 0.2 or a 0.25 is more so where I want to live as the glitter background layer of my tag.
That's cute.
Okay? So once you have determined what size you want your glitter offset to be, we are then going to hit apply. And for some reason, it didn't cover up everything in this eye. If this happens to you, I would, with my offset layer selected, come down here to contour and just ooh. We're just gonna hide that little thing. And so now it's all solid. So now we can start coloring all of these different layers the colors that we want it to be. So if we want our, I don't know, I kind of think I want, would it be too much to be glitter on glitter? So what we're gonna do now is you can now color your layers to match what you want it to say. So we only had a solid white and a solid black in here, but Alicia's gonna go look for, oh, we do have this cute little striped one. So we're just gonna play around with some colors, but what you can do, so I know that I want my ghost, I know I want the ghostie to be white somehow. I know I want my little bow to be pink. Probably gonna have the background, I'm gonna keep the background black glitter, actually. I'm gonna keep the background black glitter, and then you can change the name to whatever color you want. Now, the good thing about this is we don't have to attach anything. Okay, so we've got
have
white.
any, I thought, brought bow color options.
Okay, okay. Oh, I love the purple.
I thought it was cutie.
What if we did, okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Black background, but glitter, because it's not super glittery. Ghost also glittery, but white.
Okay.
Name purple. Bow in this.
I think you should do the bow and the black and white stripes. I know it's small, but I think it's gonna be like pack a punch.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is good?
Yeah, that's cute.
Okay, go to 1. These are the color options we're going with. This is gonna be the bow, white glitter ghost, black glitter background, solid purple name, but not glittered.
Right. I think that's cute.
Okay. Okay, so now that we've got everything situated, we're gonna go to make it. This is going to be on a few different mats, not a big deal. We'll just start with the first one. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to place my white glitter, which is going to be my little ghostie. I'm gonna place that down just like that. We're going to go to continue. we were not even turned on. So in case you all didn't know, you can actually cut Ashley Falco's glitter cardstock. You normally always cut it just on medium cardstock, don't you?
Yeah.
You can cut it on medium cardstock. You don't have to do 2 passes with the glitter. So we're just going to do this on medium cardstock. It says it's, I don't know about you guys, but it's specifically this Cricut, this machine has been giving us some trouble. Don't know why. Anyway, medium cardstock setting for the glitter cardstock. We are using just a fine point blade. Now, not all glitter cardstocks, let me be insanely clear. Not all glitter cardstocks can be cut with the medium cardstock setting, period.
Yes.
The
Ashley's
only one that we have
consistent.
found is the one from Celebration Warehouse.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And I can cut her glitters, I can cut her regulars, all on medium cardstock.
Yes.
Her foils, medium cardstock.
Everything medium cardstock.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab, this is a very well used light grip or standard grip mat. I'm gonna go ahead and place this one on here because I think it's coming up next. And I'm going to,
Is Ruby being cut out?
no, the ghost has different, like there's different pieces of the ghost where we added that offset. So there's one little piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces that like don't touch anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That we're just gonna have to do.
I got
So one other thing that, you know what I didn't do?
What?
I didn't size this, so it might be
I know-
extremely
well,
large.
I thought I might have missed it, but I was thinking that's gonna be a big old big mama tag.
We're gonna have a big honking mama tag because
okay.
I forgot to resize it.
It'll be cute still.
It's fine. So coming over here, one thing I do like to do, whether it's paper or whatever, I just like to double check and make sure that it cut all the way through, which you can see this did. It's beautiful. Before I unload, that way if I have to do a second cut, I can just hit this play button again and it will cut the exact same place. So this has now cut. Oh my gosh. I want you to see how big this ghost is.
Pull it off so we can see it.
Okay, guys, y'all are gonna laugh at me.
I mean, if they got a big pad, then they
This
need a
is
big
how
tag.
big the ghost is.
I say
The offset's gonna be about right in there.
I say just keep on trucking.
We're gonna keep on trucking, although sometimes I'm an idiot and
Sometimes all of us forget to resize.
yeah.
It
It happens
happens.
to the best of us. So now we're moving on to our next one, which is going to be our offset layer. This is going to be the layer that we actually glue everything down to. So I am, once again, using this on medium cardstock, and I really hope that this is even big enough. Like, I hope we don't run into, we're going with it now, girls.
No, it's fine.
Okay. I just hope it doesn't run into other things that we have.
It's
on
gonna be
this.
so big. I can't
It's
wait.
gonna be so weird. Okay, so while that is cutting, I'm going to take my little, I'm actually gonna go in with gravity, take this off first. This eye piece I don't need, so that's going over to the side. These 3 pieces though, I need for this design. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to kind of, oh no, that didn't work. I'm gonna try to get these little guys off without damaging them any more than I already have, because we do need them. So they're over there. Beautiful. We have our offset layer. Oh my gosh. That's how big.
That's all right. We're committed.
Offset layer. Next up, we have our net ruby. So we're gonna place this up here like that. Burnish it down really well. Now this is just regular cardstock. So once again, we're gonna be using the medium cardstock setting. And while that is, there it is. Oh, I was like, where did my other little piece go?
Oh my gosh, the glitter on glitter, it's giving.
It's very cute. Now, I'm not gonna glue this down just yet I want to make sure that I get everything cut out so I can kind of lay it out before I glue it down. Now, am I pretty positive that's where it's supposed to go? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it goes, but
it doesn't
we're just
look
gonna wait.
huge on overhead, like on the screen. I mean, it looks big, but like not as big as it looks like in real life.
Stop. Leave me alone. And I'm pretty sure this little guy goes there. I'm almost positive. And then this guy, I can't remember where he
Honestly,
goes.
like if you didn't put those there, nobody's gonna know.
I mean, nobody's gonna know, but I am, and I'm not gonna like it. But while that is cutting Ruby's name out, I'm gonna go ahead and load our striped on here. Let me kind of move this out of the way. We're gonna put this striped paper on here, burnish it down really well. Beautiful. Unload Ruby and put our bow through. Now, while this is cutting, why don't you run and see if we have any like purple? I'm pretty sure
Purple
we
what?
have purple this.
Oh, tulle.
Purple tulle, and see if you can find some other colored ribbons, because this yellow is not, I mean, it'd be cute, but
No.
it's not what I want.
Okay, I'll get.
Okay, beautiful, thanks. Once again, cutting this on medium cardstock. This is the bow that we're gonna be cutting, and while that is cutting, I'm going to
I'm not following
take
you. I'm
little
just
Ruby
getting
Doo's
ribbon.
name off of the
Oh, right there.
mat very carefully, like that. We'll place this guy back in under here. And if you all have any questions, feel free to ask any questions. Beautiful. So I know that sounds silly, but if there's little pieces inside, like this B for this daisy font, you can get them out of there, but honestly, just like taking my finger and doing that gets it off so much better. Or if you need to, you can take your weeding tool and just kind of punch it out, just like that. Okay, so now what we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna place down our name, like this. So now you can see where these other pieces will need to go. Like this one would go right here. Oh, beautiful. And this one would go right there. Okay.
We didn't have the purple tulle. I don't know where it is. So
Yeah,
I just
but like this is still really cute. I do like the,
I think you could use the orange tulle, honestly.
I do want to use the orange tool. I do think orange, that purple, this. Honestly, I think I want to use this pink too. Pink, purple, and orange. That's it. Okay.
Cuteness.
Cutie patootie. Once again, we're taking off the outside because the bow does also have multiple pieces. But yeah, we're just going to start assembling our little ghosty. Now this is this next, we didn't talk about this, reverse tweezers. Reverse tweezers are going to be your absolute best friend when it comes to projects like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm turning this around to the back and I'm going to start adding my glue, and I'm going to, now that I know generally where everything goes, there it is. Actually, I'm gonna use the Zig two-way pen just because this is a pretty big area and I want to make sure I get the edges really, really good.
And a lot of times, and I don't use hot glue a lot for paper projects.
No, but for something this big.
Yeah, for something that big and for glitter, a lot of times I'll use hot glue. Ashley's I don't have this issue as much because her glitter is so fine. But like with chunky glitter projects, sometimes the Zig pen like won't do it. But if you use like a hot glue gun, it will. You just have to be careful because with hot glue guns, the paper, when it gets heat to it, it'll try to warp.
Also,
really bad.
Don't feel like, double up on your glue if you don't feel like it's gonna stick. Like, I'm just gonna add a little bit more here in the middle with that barely, or the other one.
Super tight.
Super tight, yeah.
You can get away with more with glitter cardstock. I feel like with like normal cardstock, if you put too much, it gets all like
yeah, but with
lumpy.
glitter cardstock, it's okay.
Yeah. It's more forgiving for sure.
But that stuck really, really well, actually.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, so after I've done that, I'm gonna start with the name next. Once again, turning it over toward the back, or toward the back on the back. And making sure you get to the edges is also very important with stuff like this. And I don't want to do it on our thing, on our little ghost. And then plopping that down. And this is the one thing that I do love about the two-way glue pen versus hot glue is you have so much more wiggle room. You have a lot of wiggle room. So when and I'll show you what I mean by wiggle room. What you can do is when you put it down, you can still move it around just a little bit before you like press it. So like if it's not perfectly even, like I'll even lay it down. That's not perfectly even before I press it. Although the glue is touching and I can feel the resistance, I can move this around to where it needs to be before I press down. So I do feel like I have some wiggle room when it comes to that.
And if you enjoy these and you think they're cute, these are really like hot seller right now. And a lot of people are making them with a laser and like using acrylic and stuff like that. But you could sell these and make these so fast. Like we've been sitting here chit-chatting, but honestly, you could just make these so quickly, especially when you got into the rhythm of it. And you could let them choose like ghost, pumpkin, bats. You could have those three options for them and the glitter options. And I mean, don't you think these would sell really good?
I think there's the potential, yes. Dust like that.
Dust like that.
Dust like that. And then, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. If you wanted to, you could add the little white piece, like this white piece right here would go right there to complete the ghost and the bow. But like also we were talking about adding our hole punch, so you could even leave it open like that and add the hole right here for your ghost, which is probably what I'm gonna do. Now, what you're about to see me do is one of those, do as I say, not as I do. I would add a hole in Cricut and let Cricut cut this out. But what I'm about to do is I'm gonna take these scissors and I'm just going to make a hole myself.
That's what I did. You can't even tell on the other one because the bow is gigantic and so it just covers it up.
So yeah, this is, I feel like, what most of us would have done back in the day anyway. This is what I used to always do. Just take my scissors, keeping them closed, and making like a perfectly round circle.
Dig you a hole.
And just like that. You do need a hole there. Now, after you have done that, we are going to make our bow. Or it's not really even a bow, it's kind of like a rag bow.
A rag ribbon.
A rag ribbon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off some tulle. We're gonna cut off
pom-poms.
Pom-poms here.
I love these because you can add in so many different textures. Like we've got tulle, we've got gauze grain, we've got whatever, puff, tassels. I mean, you name it.
We've got this little guy. You can even add multiple of one if you want to. I'm gonna use this also. It's gonna be really cute.
That's cute, yeah.
Like this. What other color did I say I was gonna use? I don't think I said I was going to use another color.
Pink, orange, and purple.
Yes. So now what I'm going to do, and correct me. Oh, you just tied it together.
I just tied it in a knot.
Gotcha. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our pumpkin back in. Now imagine this is your painted pumpkin number 1. What we're going to do is we're just going to take this and we're going to tie this all together in a knot.
And this is like a style right now, like this messy, kind of like thrown together ribbon. I've seen these all over the place.
And then I'm just gonna take one of these, like this little tiny one that I know will fit through this hole. And I'm going to put it through the hole like this. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come across. I'm not gonna tie this knot just yet. I'm gonna move this up some more toward the top. Give me just a second. And once I have that where I want it, now I can knot that right there. And we'll go to number 1.
Look at her.
She's big.
she
sure is big.
I mean, we gonna know who it is.
We gonna know whose bucket this is.
That's my kid.
That's Ruby's.
That is so cute though.
Yes.
I love those ribbons with it too.
I do too. I think it's super cute.
They're so sweet.
Yes.
We have an amazing project. Like, okay, Lauren, popping off with your fabric.
Listen, I am a sucker for a vintage fabric.
Okay, I was about to say, there's a story about the fabric, which I can't wait for you guys to hear about.
There is a story behind the fabric.
It is so fun.
We'll tell you about it here in a minute, but I love taking a vintage fabric and repurposing it for something that's actually gonna be
so
used.
good.
Because these vintage
So
prints
good.
are so beautiful.
Yeah, love
And
it.
I think
love
that
it,
you all
love
can
it.
concur. Can you even look at this little Halloween bag? Now, yesterday we made a bucket. If you're not into the Halloween buckets and you want something a little bit, I don't know, this is something that I would keep and use over and over and over. The bucket, I think, is like a 1-year kind of thing. This is an every year kind of thing. Let's just go overhead and look at how stinking cute this is. I literally, I can't even deal with this. So this is what we're gonna be making today. It's pretty simple. You can cut fabric with your Explorer, in case you didn't know. Now it does have to be bonded, but I'm gonna show you exactly how we're gonna bond this fabric today, but this is what we're gonna be making. So let's go ahead and start with all of our supplies. Now, I know Donna Manning in the comments said that she could have a whole Etsy shop with her vintage fabric. Honestly, Donna, why don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's stopping you because that stuff goes, I mean, for lots of money. So I do have, this is the vintage pillowcase that I have. First of all, can we take a moment for how beautiful this is? The colors, the roses, everything about it, I am absolutely obsessed with. I love this. So I actually got this back in August. I don't know if you guys have heard of what's the official name of it? It's like I guess it is the world's, or the longest yard sale anyway. It's the first weekend of August. It runs along Highway 127, I'm pretty sure, and goes through like Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, all the way down to Georgia.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I was going to Nashville for something and just kind of stumbled along and found it and didn't have enough time. Next year, it will be a weekend-long event for me.
I love it.
I will start on Thursday and I will go all the way to Sunday because it's my favorite. Thrifting yard sales are my favorite. So this is, sorry we don't have a link for the fabric, but any fabric will do. This is a cotton fabric, so it is a pretty thin fabric. You can go to your local craft store, Joann, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and you can find just some cotton fabric, but this is what we're gonna use today. We did get these cute little canvas bags from Amazon, which are linked down below. Now this is a smaller one, so this would be used for like little kids, but if you wanted to do a bigger one, by all means, get you a bigger bag. So this is, oh my gosh, Sandy says, OMG, this was my bed sheets growing up.
Oh, I love it.
I am obsessed. I love it so much. But anyway, you can get a bigger bag if you want to. You'll just size your design a little bit bigger. We do have some ribbon here for the bow that we made out of the bow, or made the bow with. And then scrap HTV, y'all. I mean, this is small enough to where you can just use scrap HTV. You don't even have to go out and get anything special. We're just gonna use scrap HTV today. And then the star of the show is going to be Heat and Bond. Now this is the light Heat and Bond that is also sewable. I personally would probably use the stronger Heat and Bond myself, but this is what we had, so this is what we used. It's just Heat and Bond. It is iron-on adhesive. I'll show you exactly how to use it. We're gonna iron it on our fabric to bond it before we cut it. And then we're going to be able to take the backer off and iron it onto this so it adheres to the bag as well, okay?
Perfect.
So, those are all your supplies. Of course, you do need, we don't have any really good fabric grip mats right now, but we do have a good strong grip mat. You do need either a strong grip or a fabric grip mat, okay?
Perfect.
So this is what we're going to be doing today. Now let's talk about the cut files and fonts that we're gonna be using. We're gonna go ahead and grab those from the Makers Gonna Learn website before we start the process of making this beautiful project. So we'll go ahead and hop over to our share screen. Now, if you were here yesterday, are we on the share screen? Beautiful. If you were here yesterday, this is the little ghost that we actually used for our tag yesterday. So if you've already downloaded it, you're good. Because we're just gonna be using the face of this little guy in the bottom right corner. And I'll show you exactly how we'll do that. I'm not gonna download that one because I already have it. We used it yesterday. But the other ghost that we're gonna be using is this Groovy Ghost number 9. Now, if you wanted to do like, I think this guy's really cute. The only thing is it has this little sunglasses over here. The outside of that one would be cute. So there's lots of different options you can choose from, but we're gonna be using the outline of Groovy Ghost number 9. Now to download that, if you'll hit this arrow pointing down, you can see it's going to pop over to your downloads, and then we're gonna double click that and unzip that file. Now, once you have done that, before we move forward, we are going to, actually let me hop over to Design Space. Oh, Little Lovey. That's what it is. So fonts, we do need to grab our font if you don't have it already. So I'm back over here on the Makers Gonna Learn website. The font that we're gonna be using today is Little Lovey. We're gonna type that in. Now you can choose a different font. We have lots and lots of fonts to choose from, but this is the one that we're going to be using today. Now, to download a font onto your computer and get it into Design Space, you do have to click this arrow pointing down. Once again, you're gonna have to double click this because it is a zip file. So we're gonna double click. It's gonna pull up here as an OTF. Once you have done that, if you are on a Windows computer, you may have to right click. Let me see, it's Command. So you may have to right click. There will be an extract all on there. But if you are on a Mac, all you have to do is double click that, and that's going to open up your font book. If you are on a Windows, like I said, you're gonna have to extract that font, and then it will open up in your character map is what it's called. But you do need to install it on your computer first. Once you have installed it on your computer, you will then pop back over to Design Space. Maybe I'll get there. Design Space. And then you will need to reload so that Design Space will recognize it. Now, like I said, we already have it in there. So I'm just gonna scroll over here and we're gonna start building our design. The first thing though I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to get the measurements of my bag because I want to really use this as, I want to make sure I get it right. If you all were here yesterday, you know that I forgot to size my design. So I'm doing it the right way this time. So I'm gonna come, we've got 10.5 in width and then we have 8 in height. So back in Design Space, we're going to grab a shape. I'm just gonna do a square. I'm gonna bring it in. I'm going to make sure it gets unlocked. we're gonna top in 10.5 in the width and 8 in the height. And this is going to be the general size of the bag that we're going to be putting this design on. Now all we have to do is start building. Nakia says, giant ghosty. Listen, if I did a giant ghost today, it would go off the bottom of the bag. Although, I'm all about it, but.
Love it.
Okay, so we're gonna go to upload. What I'm going to do is click upload image. Now I'm gonna bring in our little ghost, groovy ghost number 9 first. So I am going to pull in this drag and drop, beautiful. Now, this is where I need you to pay attention because we just want the outside. We are going to click continue. Now, not right here. We're gonna go to apply and continue. This is where it's going to be different because we are using a PNG, but we only want the outline of this PNG. So we want this single layer. Normally, if we're using a PNG, we're gonna click flat graphic, but today, because we just want the outline, we are selecting single layer. Once we have done this, we're gonna go to continue and we are going to upload that to our canvas. Now, it comes in big, 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 big.
Love it.
We're just gonna size it down to make it fit. Now, while I'm sizing it down, Patty asked a really good question that I want to address. Patty says, does all fabric need to be bonded? Now, if you have an Explorer Series machine, then yes, all fabric that you're going to cut is gonna have to be bonded. Why? Because you don't have the means to use an adaptive blade, so you can't use a rotary blade. And I promise you, we have tried and tried and tried to cut this cotton fabric just without bonding on it. It doesn't work.
Bonding is magic.
It snags. It will like pull up the fibers in the fabric just don't do really well. So if you do have an Explorer Series machine, you do need to bond your fabric. You don't have to do it with a double-sided adhesive. Like this Heat and Bond is double-sided adhesive, meaning I iron it on and it adheres to the fabric to bond it. Then there's another thing on the back that I tear off and I'll show you what I mean. And then it bonds to the backside, also bonds to what you're doing. They do have bonding that is just one-sided adhesive bonding that you can use, but if you have an Explorer Series machine, you do need to bond your fabric. Now, if you have a Maker or a Maker 3, you can use a rotary blade and you don't have to bond your fabric. So if we do have any quilters in the house or anybody that works with fabric quite a bit and you want your Cricut to cut your fabric, you do need to have a Maker or a Maker 3 that does have an adaptive blade. So hopefully that answers your questions. So back to share screen. We have the outline of our little ghost. Now all we need to do is add the face. So how are we gonna add the face? We're gonna go back to our uploads. If you want to go through the same process, if you haven't uploaded it already, you can upload our ghost. I would suggest doing it as an SVG. That's going to allow you to contour out and ungroup and delete everything you do not need. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this to my canvas. And now you can see that we have all 4 little ghosts and we can actually choose which face we want. If you want a smiley face, if you want this little guy, if you want a little spooky face, you can choose. So I need to take a breath because I've been talking too much.
You're just going at it. There's no room for me to even talk.
So what I wanted to talk to you guys about is the fabric blade. And I'm going to keep using quotations.
It's a pink housed blade.
Yes. But it is your standard.
Yeah.
It is your standard blade.
Exactly.
Because both of these blades are a 45-degree angle cut. What that means, your fine point blade, so if you think about it, this is a right angle. A 45-degree is right in the center of your right angle. So your blade is cut at a 45-degree angle. That is gonna be your fabric blade, your fine point blade, and actually the gold housing, which is your Premium
yeah.
blade is also just a fine point blade made out of German tungsten steel.
Which I really appreciate that Cricut's trying, like, just like you should have different fabric scissors, like you should have fabric scissors.
Yes.
And regular scissors.
That's where I was getting.
Yes.
Is you're not going to cut paper with your fabric scissors.
Right.
So why should you cut fabric with your paper scissors? Like, it's
Like,
just
it just
not
wouldn't
gonna work.
happen.
It's not
You
gonna
just
work.
wouldn't do it. You know, like that one friend of yours that would be like, no. Like, that's what we're talking about. So you get the most precision. Like, if you ever use fabric scissors for fabric, it cuts like butter. If you ever use paper scissors for paper, it cuts like butter. You want to have the right thing. So that's what you just want to be aware of for the best results. If you're like, Tanner, I don't have a fabric blade, what I recommend is just getting a new blade.
Yes.
I know you have them because we've sold them to you
Yep.
through Amazon 20,000 times.
Yeah. So if you don't have the pink housing, y'all, don't worry. You can do this with your fine point blade. I'm going to do it with the fine point blade myself. Should
Yeah.
I? No. Am I? Yeah.
Yes. Love it. We
Also-
test it so that you don't have to.
Yes. Also, while we're talking about blade angles, the difference between your regular fine point blade and your deep point blade is so this is your 45-degree angle for your fine point. Your deep point is a 60-degree angle, meaning that the point of your blade actually comes down a little further and your sharpest point has a little bit more area to cut. So that's the difference. Little fun fact.
Love it.
Okay, back to the Zon space.
Excuse me, sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
What we're gonna do now that we have our little ghosties in here is we are going to hit the ungroup. We're gonna ungroup all of these, and now you can choose which little face you want. Personally, this little guy down here always has my heart. Like this little ghosty in the bottom right corner, I use him for everything.
I love the bottom left guy.
It's a guy. He's not a girl. It's a guy, but I love him. I love him.
I love it.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna delete his little friends.
Bye, buddy.
And then, bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
So fun.
So now what we're gonna do is, with this selected, we're gonna come down here to contour, and instead of hitting hide all contours, we're just gonna contour out the big piece so that we are left with a little face.
Love it.
I mean, I can't. Look at him. So cute.
Precious.
So now we have our face on our little ghost. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to add your name. So we're gonna come over here to our text. We're gonna grab a text box. I'm going to come up here to the top left where my fonts live, and I'm going to go from, if it pops up as Cricut, hop over to your system fonts, and there is where we are gonna type in Little Lovey, and our font is going to pop up. How cutie patootie. I think I'm gonna make this for Asher today and just not put a bow on it. Oh, I
yeah.
can't with the little, Asher would not like the floral.
Is there any other fabric here?
No, it's fine. We'll make it for Ruby.
Ruby.
It's okay. Ruby gets
Love
2
it.
buckets.
Love it.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to type in our name, Ruby. We're going to change it to whatever color you want, and you are going to place it under your little ghost. And this next step is just in case you want to. It's not necessary, but who doesn't love a cute little offset? So we're just gonna pop back up here to the top. We're gonna add an offset. Actually, I made Ruby one yesterday. I think I'm gonna make Annie Scott one.
Love it.
And we're just gonna type in Annie Scott.
So sweet.
Beautiful.
Who would you make one for? Let us know in the comments.
Yep, let us know if you would make one, who you'd make one for. I've not made Annie Scott anything in a while. So I'm gonna pop back up here to offset. I don't want a 0.25. We can see that that's pretty large. I'm just gonna come on down here. We'll try 0.15. That separates the two words. I think that's perfect. We're gonna hit apply. Beautiful. Let me change. And I'm gonna change that color to like this orange. And this is what it's gonna look like. I mean,
Oh my
how
gosh.
cute.
So adorable.
How cute.
So good.
So now what we're gonna do, because we are ready to send this to our Cricut now, in case you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I lied. Look, I'm gonna come in here Do you see this little guy in the middle of the C?
Yeah.
I don't like him. So what I'm gonna do is with this offset, I'm going to select my offset. I'm gonna come down here to contour. I'm just gonna contour him out. So much better.
Love it.
Okay, so now we're ready to make this. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna delete my square because y'all, all this does is it saves, it's like a placeholder for what we are making. So I'm just gonna delete him out and I'm going to hide everything else on we're gonna hide all of these guys. Beautiful. So now all we're left with is this. So we're ready to go. Oh, Christine said, how's Mary Catherine?
So good.
She did have her babe. They are amazing. They're doing great.
I just saw her. She came over for a little play date. She's doing great. We miss her.
We do miss
So
her.
fun.
We do miss her. So all of this, so our face, our offset, and our name, which I do need to go back. Let me go back to cancel because I need my name and my ghost to be 2 different colors. So let's change our ghost to white, just for the sake of making sure they're on different mats. So back over here to make, I'm gonna leave my ghost for last and I'm gonna cut all of these first. And while they're cutting, I'm gonna bond my fabric. But before I go any further, like I said, we are using HTV for these. And actually these are so small. I'm gonna show you guys a little trick. We're gonna use the same mat and we're gonna cut all 3 things of HTV on the same mat.
So good.
But we just need to remember that the offset is going to be whatever color you want, whether it's orange, green. I actually have green in here that I guess I'll do it in green. I think that'll be really cute with the orange bow anyway. And we do already have our little face cut, but we may cut them again. So what I'm gonna do, the trick that I'm gonna show you guys is here, I'm going to click these 3 little dots. I'm gonna move this to our black mat here, confirm, and now I'm gonna pull this down to the bottom. So what that's gonna do is I can now place the corresponding colors where they need to go on the mat so that we're gonna have 3 different colors, but only have to send our mat through 1 time.
Love it.
Now, before I hit mirror, because I know you all are gonna tell me, don't forget to mirror, I'm gonna move everything first because if you hit mirror and then move it all, it like turns it off. So if you're gonna do this, I would move it all first before I hit mirror. So once again, 3 dots, move object, over here on the black, and confirm. Now for this one, we will place it right around here and I'll make sure that we have enough room to put all of this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn mirror on for everything. And we'll go overhead. And before I continue, I'm gonna make sure I put it all where it needs to go. So my face is gonna be up here in the corner and we need to cut a little bit bigger than a 2x2 square. So I'm going to cut here and here. We're gonna place this one here in the corner. Next up, we have our name, which is going to be right around between 5 and 7. So we need to have, we'll just go ahead. There we go. We'll do this way. And we'll see how long it goes all the way to 8. So let's just go ahead and cut it all the way off here. Now it's okay that this is up here. It's not going to be touching anything. So we're just gonna place this right here. I'm gonna grab my burnishing tool. We're gonna make sure that gets burnished down really, really good.
Woohoo.
Now I do have some paper left from yesterday. I'm just gonna scrape that off, make sure that gets off of there so that it doesn't snag. I don't think we're cutting that far anyway, but we're just gonna pop that right there. And then the offset is going to be at the bottom. It is a little bit big, but we're not gonna run into any issues here because it doesn't even come all the way down to 7. It actually stops about right there. So we're just going to place that there on the bottom, just like that. We're gonna burnish that down really well, because we don't want it to move, especially since we have multiple colors on one mat. We do not want that to move, so make sure you're burnishing your vinyl down really well. This is also gonna help ensure that you get really good cuts by doing that.
Right.
So now that we have all 3 of the colors on the mat where they need to go, I'm going to clean up just a bit.
Maybe unplug the USB and plug it back.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. And we're cutting this on everyday iron-on. And now we're just going to load this into our machine. And while that loads and cuts, we are going to bond our fabric.
Yay.
If you'll hand me those pinky shears.
Oh, I just wanted to keep them.
Thanks. I moved them a while ago because
So
I was
fun.
filming. So that's why they were over there. So what I'm gonna do is I am using our pinking shears and I'm just going to cut off some of this fabric. Like this. This should be big enough. And I'm gonna move this out of the way. And now I'm going to grab my heat and bond and I'm going to cut a piece large enough to cover this piece of fabric. Now, what you can do, sometimes I'll iron it on before I cut it off. Sometimes I cut it off before I iron. It really, you can do it either
Depends.
way. So we'll just go ahead and cut this the size of our piece of fabric. It's okay if it's a little bit bigger. It's not a big deal. And once you have done that, you're gonna be able to tell which side you iron on first and which side you don't. This is the side you want touching your fabric when you iron. You wanna keep this like waxy paper on it. So we're gonna keep that on. I am going to bring in a mat just because it does tend to help with keeping the heat, especially on this cold surface because we are working on a marble tabletop.
Right.
But you do need to be careful not to put your mini easy press if your heat and bond is not touching your fabric and it's touching your mat. Just be careful.
Yes.
Because it will adhere to your mat. So what I'm gonna do, I'm using a mini easy press with a heat setting of 2, and I'm just going to start adhering this down, this heat and bond, to our fabric and not adhering it to our mat. Now this mat isn't the best because we've had it folded up, so it's got that crease in it, but it'll do, pig. Now,
Yes.
once you have done that, you can trim off the excess heat and bond if you want to. It's really not 100% necessary. But this next step when we go to cutting is going to be completely necessary in my opinion. And that is actually turning your fabric upside down and cutting it from this side. That is going to be the key to making sure that you get nice, clean cuts on your Explorer using your fine point blade. So, what I'm gonna do now, before I unload this, I'm actually going to put my fabric on my mat. I'm gonna line it up here because one thing that I've been telling everybody before you unload your mat, I always think that you need to check your cuts, okay? So that's why I'm going to put this on here first. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab a weeding tool and I'm gonna come over here, and I've been trying to do this myself too because you'll know me. I always like to say, do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Normally, everyday iron-on, we don't have a problem, but I always just like to double check everything. This way, if it didn't cut through and you haven't unloaded it, you can hit this flashing play button again and it will pull it right back through and cut in the exact same
That's
spot.
like one of my favorite features.
Amen. Put it on a shirt.
So good.
So we know that it cut through. I'm now going to unload. And because you do put your fabric, now with this shape, it doesn't matter because it is a symmetrical shape. But if you are cutting fabric with a non-symmetrical shape, okay, non-symmetrical shape, you will need to mirror your design, okay? If it's non-symmetrical, you will need to mirror it. Let me just go ahead and turn the mirror on for you guys, even though ours is a symmetrical shape. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna click Browse All Material, and we are going to type in bonded, and we are going to do, I want cotton. Is there not? Let's do fabric, denim, faux suede, oilcloth, polyester, printed.
There's some really, and I think this is really important. You know, there's a lot of options. Like when you think about your Cricut can cut 500 plus material, I will say a lot of them are very similar fabric materials, and the settings are very different. And this is where I was getting at. So if you scroll through, you can see.
Let me go back and show you exactly how I got that.
Yeah,
so if for some reason you're like, I don't know which one to pick, so you can come down here. They have them. Fabric is its own separate thing. You can see there's not a cotton bonded. I don't know if they did an update because there used to be a cotton bonded. A bonded cotton. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look, and I like to look, okay, I think denim would be fine, maybe oilcloth or polyester. So what I'm gonna do now.
It's so strange that cotton isn't there anymore.
But denim is?
Right.
It doesn't, I mean, denim is cotton.
But I feel like denim would be like so deep, like probably cut it multiple times.
I know. Fusible fabric, yes, that one would probably be, they may have just changed the name to fusible fabric. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here to material settings. If you are ever second guessing yourself, go to your material settings. I told you denim was the first one that they do have these in order. So this is telling me that denim bonded is a pressure of 321 with 3 passes.
Yeah.
Which to me is way too much. So now I know denim is not the way to go. Let's go on down to fusible fabric. Fusible fabric is 220 single pass, fine point blade. That's probably the one that I'm gonna go with, but I do wanna check oilcloth and polyester just before I get off of here. So polyester, let me find it. Where's it at? Did I miss it? Yes, I did. I'm in the PRs. Polyester, 285. So that's a little bit more pressure. If you think that your machine needs a little bit more pressure, you might want to do polyester because the fusible fabric was 225, polyester is 285, both with a single pass. So I think either of those would be fine. And then I want to check oilcloth, which I know oilcloth is going to be really thick, but I went past it with the P's. 285. So didn't it say polyester was 285 too? Yeah.
So a lot of these are very similar. That's kind of what I was kind of pointing out.
Polyester and oilcloth are the exact same pressure.
So when Cricut says that, you know, they cut 500 plus different materials,
right?
A lot of these just borrow the same setting.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. You know, we don't talk about specialty material a ton here, but I think it's just really important to readdress in that setting area to see what the setup is and so on.
So I'm gonna go with fusible fabric. Now, if you don't for some reason see the cut settings on your machine, you can make your own custom cut settings. But so far, this is 225 with 1 pass. So we're gonna try it with 1 pass, check it out. Yes, I am using the same blade that I just cut HTV with. Come at me. While that is cutting, I'm just gonna go ahead and weed my little things here. Ugh, this is the one thing about a light grip mat. A light grip mat does its job, but when it comes to weeding on a light grip mat, it can sometimes be a little tough. Like it comes up so easy. So we've got our little face. Okay, it's cut. Let's come check it. Let's come look.
Woohoo!
Come to 3. Ouch.
Ooh.
Ouchie, ouchie.
Are you cutting yourself?
I just poked myself.
With the pin tool? That's crazy.
Yep. Okay, it cut through beautifully, actually. So we're gonna unload this guy. I'm gonna leave him there while I weed everything else here. So now I'm just going to weed this last little piece, my offset layer here, Shouldn't take me very long at all because there's nothing on the inside that I need to get rid of. And we are ready to start assembling.
Yay!
Gonna bring this foldy guy back out. Not my favorite, but it will do. Beautiful, trying to clean up some. And we're going to start making our bag. Can they see?
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to grab our little ghost. Hold on, let me pull him in. So when I take him off the mat, you guys can see how well it cut. Look at that.
Ooh!
Amazing. So what I'm doing now is I'm just making sure that all of this is going to fit on here beautifully, and it will. Lovely. I think I'm gonna put my name on first before I put my ghost. So what I'm gonna do, I still have my mini heat press on with a heat setting of 2. I'm going to place my name down here with my offset first, and I'm just going to iron this on. You can tell when your HTV is ready because it will start kind of bubbling or just come off like that. I mean, very easily. Now you are gonna have to do a little bit more with this canvas. I have noticed that canvas does take maybe just a little bit more time than just regular. There we go. Look how beautiful that came up. And in case you all were wondering, Caesar Easy Wheat is our favorite HTV. Now, one thing I am going to do, because this little corner is kind of exposed, I'm just gonna bring my excess that I just used and cover up the corner of that offset. If you have any HTV exposed when you are doing an offset, make sure you cover it, because if your mini heat press touches it, it is going to, it's going to ruin it. It will melt it. Just FYI. What?
About melting it.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't want anybody to have theirs melted.
I've done it so many times though. That's why I make sure to tell everybody to protect your area, because I have melted so much HTV, like just because I've been in a hurry and not been paying attention.
So good.
So now that we have our name on there, we're gonna place our little ghost. So what you need to do, once you have gotten it off your mat, we are now going to take this backer off. You can see how that shiny is there. That's what's going to adhere, much like HTV, to your bag. So we're gonna lay that down, and we're just gonna iron this. Once again, I'm gonna pull this, let me grab it. Pull this back in here and cover up the bottom half of my name so that I can get these corners and not worry about touching my HTV that I have down. And I'm just going to make sure that we get this heat and bond adhered to our bag.
Yay. What are your thoughts on heat and bond? I find it so fascinating.
I love it.
I think it's really, really neat.
I love it for so many things. I use heat and bond to quickly hem my clothes all the time. I use it to repair holes. I'll use it on the inside and pull my fabric together and put the heat and bond on the inside to like repair holes.
Ooh.
I use it for appliques. I use it for so many different things.
So good.
Yes.
Yeah, when I first discovered it, I was like, this is actually brilliant. I used to do it for felt a lot of projects with felt.
Yes. Now we're gonna put our little face on here. I do want to, okay, so we made this bow before, but she said the bow was just too big, but it's so cute, but it is a little big, I will agree. So we may have to make another little bow here in a minute, but we're gonna put our face on first. So we're just going to iron that on. Does not take very much for that to cut. And I mean, other than our bow, guys, that's it. That's it. Now for our bow, what we can do, I'll show you how to do it. We're just gonna cut off some, and this is actually from the Dollar Tree, velvet ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Super, super cute.
Love it.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring these together and we're just going to kind of pinch it. I don't know how else to say it. You're just gonna pinch it like this. Now what I would do, this bow does have to be kind of small. I'm going to bring in my hot glue and I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot glue to this side right here.
There you go. So good.
And that's it. Look
What a
at the
fun
little bow.
project. What a fun one.
Now I'm gonna hold this down so that it kind of stays a little better because my glue is.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is a winner.
This might be still wet. So
Winner,
just
winner,
be
chicken
careful.
dinner. Is this like velvet?
Yeah, it's
like
velvet ribbon from the
Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's got the hookup, man. Dollar Tree's
Dollar
got the
Tree.
plug. Y'all are gonna love it. This is gonna be such a fun one. This is what the Makers Learn file.
Hey, welcome back to the Makers Gonna Learn YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. It's like,
I'm so excited.
it's fall vibes. But anyways, we're gonna be working with some printable DTV. This is like, you've probably heard people call it printable vinyl, but
Yes.
this is like printable heat transfer vinyl versus like sticker paper.
Yes, and the thing with this, I feel like we've used this quite a few times on the channel, but today we're going to be taking this and showing you how you can create lots of different pieces and then transfer it over. Because I feel like a lot of times we've used the Caesar DTV, which, first of all, we adore.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite products.
It's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
But it's also, it's one of those that if you don't create it in one piece, sometimes you're left with, where do I go from here? So what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna teach you how to not only create trendy shirt designs,
Yes.
but how to create multiple piece shirt, how to use a design that is multiple pieces using the Caesar DTV and transferring it over to your shirt.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about Caesar Easy Color DTV. Now we're going to go overhead and I'm going to show you guys the product that we're using today. So this is they sent us this like last year sometime. But this is basically, I'm going to show you guys this paper. This feels so unique to anything else we use here in the office. It almost has, do you guys ever have those like soft gripped phone cases? The back of the Caesar vinyl feels like that to me. It's like a very soft, flexible, almost material. So you're gonna print on the white side. This is just the back side. Yeah, that's good. And then you print it on an inkjet printer, and then you just take the heat transfer tape, also known as the TTD mask, and that goes on top of it so you can transfer it over. Because you know, normally whenever you work with HTV, it's got that built-in carrier sheet and you cut it from the back and then weed it and then transfer it on. With this, you print it, weed it, and then you've got to apply the transfer tape because we're not going to be cutting upside down or anything like that. You print it, cut it, weed it, apply the transfer tape, and then put it on your shirt. So I'm going to be taking you through all the steps on how to do that. Do not feel overwhelmed by this. This is actually probably one of the easiest ways to achieve a shirt that looks this good quickly. Okay, so we've got this shirt right here. This is what we're going to be creating, and y'all can use this material to create pretty much any type of print and cut image. Like if you have some kind of image you're wanting to put on a shirt that is very detailed, this is really good for images that have shading and lots of detail, like these bows. These are watercolor bows, and then we've even made these pumpkins look like watercolor pumpkins, and then that just gives it that much more dimension. Rather than just putting like a pink bow silhouette, this really levels it up in my opinion.
Now, this is done on a regular inkjet printer. This is not done on a sublimation printer, in case you all were wondering. I know we had our friend Brandy ask. This is just a regular inkjet printer.
Yes, so you're gonna need transfer tape, this right here. They are sold separately, so make sure if you do purchase the CZ Easy Color DTV that you also pick up some TTD mask or just some heat transfer tape. TTD Easy Mask is heat transfer tape. And then I've got a standard grip mat. You'll need an inkjet printer, and you're obviously gonna need your Cricut. And then all the files we're using are linked below as well. So with that being said, let's go to share screen. And we're gonna go ahead and start designing. Now, I like to go get all of my files. So we're gonna start with this watercolor checkered pumpkin. It is orange. Now, I love it, how it is, but we wanted to do the pink because pink is just in, I don't know, since the Barbie movie, I feel like we've been in girl power mode. So I'm here for it, you know what I mean?
Here for it. The future is female.
The future is female, period. So I'm just gonna download that. It's gonna pop into this little folder over here. But before I do anything else, I'm gonna go get my bows too. Let's go download our bows. These are in our new cut file release. So these are brand new. And we actually made them for this project, I believe. So there's 4 here. I'm gonna go ahead and download all of these. They're gonna pop up here into this little quick download section. I'm just hitting this little down arrow and it's popping them all into my download section. So super easy. And then what we'll need to do is go to Canva. This is where we go to Canva. I personally like working in Canva, especially with PNG images because they're so much more detailed. And a lot of times Cricut Design Space takes forever to load images that have a lot of detail. We were actually having issues with it this morning. And so I just like to design in Canva, pull it into Cricut so I can cut it. And that's just the way I like to work. I've been doing a lot of that this year because we came out with the Canva course and I just got so accustomed to the quickness of Canva and I just like it like that. Now, you're gonna wanna measure your shirt. So depending on the shirt you're making, this is a toddler shirt. So if you're doing a small one, the size is gonna vary pretty good. But let's see here.
Do you have another shirt or are you gonna make another one?
I don't have one. I am gonna make one. I don't know.
So you want me to go grab one? Mm-hmm. Will do.
So this
BRB.
So you don't want it to go like from armpit to armpit. Like you don't want the design coming all the way out here. I like to measure the area that I want my image to fit inside of. So this one is about 7. Yeah, I'd say about 7 by, let's see. Honestly, like 7.5. So back in Canva, I'm gonna change my units to inches and we're gonna do 7 by 7.5 and then create new design. That's cute.
You want me to just plain white? I can grab just plain white one.
I think that's fine.
Let me grab it just
Okay. Okay. And then I'm gonna hit create new design. And then we've got just our little blank canvas. Nothing makes me happier than a blank canvas, you know? So now from here, we have all these images that we pulled into our uploads. You can, depending on if they're zipped up or not, sometimes it'll allow you to click and drag these over, but if it's zipped, it's gonna give you this upload error. So we're gonna need to unzip our files. So I'm just gonna click right here. Now, if you don't see that little area in your downloads, just go to your File Explorer or your Finder, depending on if you're using a Windows or a Mac, and then you can see your images over here. All you need to do to unzip a file is to double click it. Beautiful, thank you. So I'm just gonna unzip all of these little bows and then I can select all these 4 at once, click and drag, and it's just gonna pop right into our uploads. I can tell it's working because this little upload guy starts filling up with water. And I think that's so cute that they do that. So all my little bows are there and then my little pumpkin. We gotta go get our little pumpkin. Let's go open our Finder. Where is he at? There he is. We're also gonna be using a pumpkin from Canva. So you can incorporate like elements from other places if you already have some pumpkin files you wanna use. So let's go ahead. We're gonna start plugging and playing with our images. I'm just going to click the images that I want out of our uploads and they're gonna pop over here into our design. I'm gonna kind of shrink them as I add them just because they come in kind of big. And then we will just resize them. I love the little bow trend. I am here for it. I think it's cute. I like anything girly. Now this grid style is also really on trend right now. Like you can replace bows and pumpkins with like ghosts and pumpkins or like it can even not be Halloween. Like it could just be like footballs and fall leaves or like literally anything in this little grid pattern is very on trend. You could do like bulldozers or dinosaurs or, you know, whatever. We're making a toddler shirt, so I feel like, I mean, I guess this isn't technically just a toddler shirt, but anyways. Okay, I've pulled my pumpkins in and my bows. Now, let's go get one more pumpkin, and then I'm going to show you guys how to change the color of images if you are not loving it. So I'm going to type in pink pumpkin just to fill up some spots, and we're going to go to see all graphics. Now, this is something that I want you all to start incorporating into your designing if you're not already. Pay attention to the images you already have and the style that your images are in. We are using watercolor images. So when I come over here to look for more images, I do not want to be pulling in an image that is an illustration like this. I mean, you could, in certain instances you could, but as a rule of thumb, I try to stick with the same design style whenever I'm picking out multiple images. That way my design doesn't look messy and it looks more cohesive and it'll look more elevated too. So like this one would probably be closer because it is watercolor. Like you could make this one work, I feel like, maybe if we change the color of it. But do you see how much different that would be versus like a black pumpkin illustration?
Yeah,
You
so
know what I mean?
if you want to go with illustrations, they all need to be illustrations. If you want to go watercolor, they all need to be watercolor.
Exactly.
Watercolor.
Watercolor. Water. Oh, look how cute. Okay, let's delete this guy. I just love a pink pumpkin. There's something about it.
Okay, so Tara asked a good question. Curious, are most adult size designs wide format or 8.5 by 11? So with
It's a good question.
that is a good question. It's just going to depend on, because the thing is on like a size small shirt, you can be able to get by with a lot, like something that's printed on 8.5 by 11 or an extra larger 2X, you might not be able to get by with it. The good thing about this shirt, however, is the fact that we can design all of these elements, and if it comes down to it and we're putting it into Cricut Design Space, which you're doing this just as a PNG, right?
Yes.
So it will all come in together?
Yeah.
So I actually just scratched what I was about to say, and I'm not even going to say it.
That's all right.
JK. I was thinking in my brain, not to get anybody more confused, that you could kind of design them, but like cut them out all different to make it bigger on a bigger shirt. And
you would have to adhere them separately.
Yeah, just adhere them, line them up and adhere them separately.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
But
either way.
We'll get back to the story.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I need to duplicate this pumpkin, but I want to make it match the rest of our vibe. I'm also going to change these pink pumpkins because they're not the same shade of pink. It may look different to you all on screen. I don't know how closely they look on your screen, but my screen, the pinks are not the right tones. They're different tones, and that bothers me.
They are different tones on the screen.
Vinyl Tool Supply. Tell me your name again. Is it Sarah?
Sarah.
Sarah, I emailed you today. I emailed you, girl. I did. She said your bangs are giving life.
Thanks.
They really are. I was like, Lauren texted me last night. I was like, that's your haircut. That haircut was made for you. I believe it. I think it's so cute. Okay, so once you've got your images in here, any image that you need to change the color of, if you're working with a PNG, what I like to do is select the image, and then we're going to go to edit. Okay. From here, you're going to scroll down to duotone. Okay. So we got duotone. Now look, we've got lots of options here, lots of different colors. You can see when I click these, they all change. You can even adjust the intensity if you just want like a shade of a color. This is definitely like not what we're wanting. But look, there's a custom option. This black and white one up here, I'm gonna select that. And then what you can do is change the color of the highlights and the shadows. So I'm gonna go to my highlights first, and let's do a light pink for our highlights. But it needs to be like this mauvey pink, almost a little bit more red. And like, if you're looking to get like a muted tone, muted tones live closer to black. So like if you want a brighter tone, you pull it more right. If you want a muted tone, you pull it down a little bit and to the right. Let's live there for 2 seconds. Let me go to my shadows. These are going to be our darker elements. So we're wanting to do this like pinky, mauvey red, but we still want to see the plaid. So you don't want to make it like too light or too...
Because if you make it too close to the same color, you're not going to be able to see anything at all.
Yes. So we're just going to kind of play with this. It's got a lot of purple in it and a lot of red. Does this hurt you to watch me do?
Yeah, but
It
it's okay.
hurts me to watch people do it. That's why I was asking.
Well, so Jenna asked a good question. Can you use your dropper to match the color? So yeah.
Here, let me just do that for you guys. Okay, so if you want to just do it the easier way, do this. We're gonna pick a light color from our bow and a dark color from our bow. So if I wanted to do a light, I'm gonna come over here to like the lighter part of my bow and click on that. And then for the shadows, click the dropper.
And go toward like the center of the bow where it's a little darker. Oh my God.
Perfect match every time.
Perfect match every time.
I was honestly just trying to see if you guys would figure it out. I don't know why I wasn't doing listen, this is why I wasn't doing it, because sometimes Canva has the eyedropper tool and I get used to not having that option.
Yeah, so there are specific times where the eyedropper tool on Canva for some reason goes away.
Yeah, it just disappears.
And I don't understand it. So like in my brain, I try to like just keep designing, like teaching myself how to do it without the eyedropper, because yes, the eyedropper makes it so much easier.
That's literally why. Okay, so let's do the same thing with these Canva pumpkins. We're gonna go to duotone, we're gonna go to custom, and then we're gonna go to highlights, and we're gonna use the eyedropper tool, and we're just gonna select a light area of our bow, and then do the same thing for the shadows.
And once we're done, we'll give you the exact color combo match here in a minute. We'll give you the hex codes if you want to.
Let's see.
If you want them to look exactly like this.
Okay.
And then just delete that bottom one and duplicate it?
Possibly, but I want to try something.
Okay.
So a lot of times when I'm trying to duplicate the style of something, like this one has this duotone, I'll go Control click and hit copy style. And then it changes it. So it'll even like adjust to your size and your colors. You can do this with fonts even. I think it's so easy to like just pop stuff wherever you want it. I could have easily duplicated that, but just a little tip.
I'm glad you showed them that, because now you can duplicate that pumpkin. I'm assuming you're putting it on the right side.
Yep.
There we go.
And I'm gonna actually flip them.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're almost there, but I like to get really particular, and especially with these grid designs, you want everything to be lined up. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna select each row, and we're going to go to position and center. And then I'm gonna do it this way. And then we're also gonna do it the other way too, because I want all of this stuff lined up really good. Now, if some of your images are taller than others, it may put it in a weird position, and we can manually adjust after we get everything aligned exactly where we want it. Because
actually, I think that I would probably take my 3 in the middle, select all of them. Other way, that way. And then like manually with my keyboard, move it down like two bumps.
Okay.
Because that one is touching that one bow.
Also, like, I don't love this, and I feel like this is too far away. Sometimes even you can like switch the picture that's there, and it will fit better, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But I love all of this. Looks really good to me. Something right here is like off to me.
It's almost like that line needs to be all of it at the top. Does that make sense? Like if you select it all, and instead of centering it, you go to a line at the top.
Yeah, let's do this at the bottom too. I'm just curious now, because
that way it's all the way across.
Yeah, I like that.
And
better.
honestly, can we take that middle bow?
I'm gonna make this bigger because I liked it. Oh, it didn't do it. It didn't do it that time. So maybe it just copies on pictures just the duotonality. It's too big, ain't it?
It was a little bit. I was going to say take the bow in the middle, switch it with a bow in the top, because I feel like it's a lot skinnier and longer in that middle portion than it is in that corner.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at it.
there we go.
There we go, people. I am going to shrink that back down to what it was. And I'm going to shrink this back down to what it was. Because I think I was just trying to compensate for that
Right.
little hole.
Yeah.
Now, let's position all these to the top again and see what we think.
No. That looks,
I'm just going to bump them down.
yeah.
That looks...
Eyeball it this time.
Sometimes you just got to eyeball it. It's just a part of it.
I
And
would
I'm going to
eye-
also eyeball this down a little bit. It's too far away.
So another big thing that I have noticed with Canva, go to that bow on the left,
This one.
click on it. Do you see how there's so much extra room on the top and the bottom? It's going to align it based on the bounding box and not the image itself. So if you
Yes.
bump that bounding box as close as you can to your actual image, it's going to give you a lot better of an alignment.
Like a lot more accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
The middle bow is long, but...
I like it where it's at. I think it looks good
This
where
is
it's at.
satisfying to me. Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
looks good. Okay, so then from here, we've got everything designed exactly as we want it. So now we can title this Pumpkin Shirts. Now I'm printing this, I measured this shirt, but we're gonna resize, we'll resize it in Cricut Design Space. Okay, we're gonna go share and download. It's gonna be a PNG. I'm gonna do this with a transparent background in Canva. We have Canva Pro. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. You need to get Canva Pro. Just get it. It's just worth it. Like, if you're a crafter, you need Canva Pro. I don't know how else to put it. It's just, you can use it in so many aspects of your life. I have done all the girls'
Birthday
invitations.
parties.
I mean, you name it. Flyers for random things, yard sale posts. I don't know. I just use it all the time on my phone even. Okay, it's downloaded. Now what we're gonna do is go to Cricut. Kathy Pendergast started my Canva course, did a bunch of classes, and I haven't been back. I need to start it back up again. I love watching all that Canva can do. Kathy, you got to get in there and do it. It's so fun. Okay, so now we're in Cricut Design Space. This is how we can cut our image out. Okay, so we're going to go to Uploads over here on the left. I'm going to select Upload Image, and then we're going to drag and drop our download. Here, maybe. Where'd it go? Okay, pumpkin shirt PNG. So you can just drag and drop.
Beautiful.
Look, she looks so pretty. And then we're just going to apply and continue. Now, if you don't have Canva Pro, but you do have access, you can remove your background.
I'm
here.
obsessed.
Now, if you do not have Canva Pro, but you do have Cricut access, you can remove the background at this step instead. But since we already did it in Canva, we don't have to do that, lucky for us. And I'm going to hit apply and continue. Okie dokie. Those of you that have not completed your Canva course, that's my challenge for you this week. Get back in the Canva course. I need like 5 to 6 courses completed. Okay. That's my challenge for you.
I've got
this week.
options.
Okay, Lauren's brought options for sure.
Well, this one was just dark. I thought the pink
Ooh.
would pop on that.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Just so they see the dark.
Okay.
I thought this also might be fun.
Yeah.
Pink and purple. I don't know.
Let me see.
And then this was just another gray. So I think I
I'm
like that
digging the
one better.
black. I'm digging the black.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Anyway, if it's too small, how you can like separate it out by
Yeah, sections.
line.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to select flat graphic here, and then we're going to select continue and upload, and then it's going to pop into Design Space. Now, you've got to remember Cricut sometimes lags a little bit with big images, and this is a big detailed image. Already we're getting a warning because this image is 10.9 by 11.3, which is way too big for print and cut. Now, they do create Easy Color DTV wide format, but not everybody has a wide format printer. So I really want to show you guys how you could do this on an adult shirt, which could honestly be its own tutorial. Do we want to show them? Do you guys want to see me do this on an adult shirt? Because I'm probably going to have to print it on two 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper.
Okay.
Do we want to show them? Okay, we'll show you guys. No one
Yeah.
said yes, but we're going to.
Yeah, I'm saying yes.
Okay.
Because I feel like the majority of people are going to want to see, like, this is a very large design.
Right.
It really is.
Especially when you get it on, like you could do this just printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of this for a kid's shirt, because like we were saying earlier, it's only like 7 inches. But if you're wanting to do this on an adult shirt and you don't have a wide format printer, you're going to have to break your design up. If you
Everybody's
want it to
saying
look
yes,
good.
yes.
All right, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Now, I don't have this in the printer.
Okay, I'll take it.
Here, just take.
We'll just take 3 or 4. There we go. Beautiful. Or 12.
Take 27. It's fine. Okay, so there. This is our design. Now let's measure our shirt, because we want to make sure that we are making this as big as we need it to be. Now, if you're gonna sell these, you better pre-wash them or buy pre-shrunk cotton. A lot of people don't like to pre-wash, but you can buy pre-shrunk cotton. That way, when it does get washed, it doesn't shrivel up your vinyl, because that is not cute.
Not cute.
Not cute at all. So we want this like 11-ish.
Well, okay, so you
11-ish?
also have to think, you have to keep it under 11. Because,
for the wide format.
huh?
For wide format?
Oh, no, not for wide
Oh,
format,
yeah,
for today.
yeah.
We have to keep
You're
it
right,
under
you're right.
11 inches wide.
You're right. It would have told me. It would have been like, hey, you can't do that. So then we'll, like 10.5. It'll still be fine. So what I am going to do, right now we're at 10.9 by 11, and it's too big. Like, it's going to not let us.
You're gonna have to do it 10, is it not 10.5? Well, 10.5 width,
Yeah, I think 10.5 will do it.
that should do it.
No, it would have to be the biggest number is 10.5. Hold on. No. Auto resize image is going to put us, for a normal print and cut, it's going to put us there.
Yeah, but that's because you've not separated it out yet.
Right. I'm just saying. So, okay, so let's go ahead and make it as big as we want it. And then we're going to take a shape. Is this how you would do it?
That's how I would.
Okay. Take a shape, and I'm going to unlock it. I'm debating on, I think I'm going to cut the top. Like, ooh, maybe we won't be able to. Because that little corner. Can we cut the bottom off? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take just a rectangle and make sure you covered your entire row. Okay. Then we're going to select all of this. So you're selecting the pumpkins as well as the rectangle. I can see a little bit of my image poking out on the bottom there. And I'm going to select them both, and we're going to hit slice. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull away these layers, and look. Magic. Now, why is it giving me a warning over here? But it's not, because I don't have anything down there anymore. Let me try something. You see how it's like thinking that it's still wide? Mm-hmm. It's not. I'm just going to take another rectangle and go over top of all this and see if it'll slice off that bottom edge. I'm just trying it out here. I cut something off. It's okay. Why is it still telling me? Listen, do we need to do it in 3 layers? I don't know why it's saying that. So 8.5 by 11, it's still 10.5 is just too wide. So you know what? We're just gonna do it in 3 rows. Why not?
What do you mean?
It's like not gonna let me do. It's too big. Let's see if we can do it from down here. This bow and this bow are intersecting at the cut line. This is just the kind of things you deal with, guys. I mean, we can cut it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Slice them and dice them. Whatever it takes to get that pretty design, y'all. That's all we care about. Okay, now we've got 1, 2, 3 pieces. It's still giving me a warning.
It's because when you're slicing, it's
Not taking away my bounding box, I know.
yeah.
Let's save it and reload. Because it shouldn't do that.
No, it shouldn't. But Cricut has been. Oh, I know. I see where it happened.
What? Did I cut something off?
Yeah, just very tiny.
Can you see it?
I can see it on screen. Yes'm, yes'm.
Okay, we're going to go pumpkin shirt. We're going to save it. Change your shape. Brandy has a good point. Change your shape to the guideline.
No, she was saying the shape that you sliced out of.
Would that help it? Would
No. What has happened is that pumpkin that's in the middle on the left, if you zoom in and look very closely,
It's cut off.
there's like a little sliver.
Okay, I don't care about that. I can't see it from here.
No, you can't.
Oh, I see.
You see it now?
Yeah, I see it. It's okay.
So that's why it's now still giving the bounding box on that side.
Oh.
That's why the bounding box is that big.
But why was it earlier? I didn't
Because you probably cut off a little tiny, like something microscopic you couldn't even see.
You guys, okay. Should we just pull it back in and do it the right way then? And make sure I don't cut a little teeny tiny sliver off? Let's just do that from the top. It'll be so fast. Add to canvas. Now, pull in a rectangle. We are not going to chop off any parts of our bows, you guys. Thank you for telling me to do better. Okay. I think it's covered. Do you guys see?
And I don't know that change it to guide. Change your square to guide.
So we can see it.
Yes. There you go.
And then,
Slice.
beautiful. Okay.
Now.
Delete all your layers. Look, we've got a row here. Let's just delete all this business. This
Yeah.
is just too much.
That's too much. There you go.
Okay.
Now.
Wow. And then I'm going to let's resize these down to, what did we say, 10 and a half? Okay, we're gonna have to still do 3 rows though. Okay, so we will just chop off one of these sections. Y'all still with me?
Mm-hmm.
So
Make sure you turn it into a guide to double check.
Oh yeah, measure twice, cut once.
That's right.
What
Measure
does that mean?
more like for me, it's measure twice, cuss once.
Measure twice, cut once.
That's my style.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna cut this one out because that one was way too close. So select them both, and then we're gonna slice. Beautiful. There we go. I'm glad we had this talk.
So now they can all fit on a piece of DTV.
Yes. Okay.
And this will be really good because you still have your square of 4 that you can start with and build there.
Right.
And then go over to the left side, add those 2 and line them up, and then line that bottom one up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't prefer to do it this way, but this is what we got to do to make it be cute and fit your shirt the correct way. Okay, so we're using the Explore 3 today. Maybe I should turn my machine on. And all of this is ready to go. Let's go to Make It. Now, don't be alarmed when we get over here and it looks like this. This is because we had to break it up. Yeah, it's going to look weird because we had to make it bigger so everything's split up.
But it's all good.
It's all good. Okay, we're going to hit Continue. And we're going to send to the printer. And we're using the Canon TS9500 Series 2. I am going to keep the bleed on because we're using full color images and I do not want any white showing in case my calibration is slightly off. And then I'm going to use the system dialog. I always use the system dialog when printing things for projects because I get the best quality. So now, select print. I'm going to pull this down because sometimes the dialog box pops up behind the computer. And I'm going to feed from rear tray. And I'm going to hit best quality. We have a rear feed printer. I personally like rear feed for stuff like this because it just gives me better quality. That paper's a little bit thicker than normal paper. So anything that's thicker, you're gonna wanna feed through your rear tray. And then we're gonna hit prints. Beautiful. And then we're gonna go to browse all materials and type in printable. And we're gonna get lots of options, okay? There's like printable vinyl specialty. Lots of this is sticker paper. I go with printable iron-on light. That is my cut setting for Caesar Easy Color DTV, and I'm going to grab this. There is no mirroring with Easy Color DTV.
This is one thing that you have to make sure that you remember, because sometimes especially in our brains, when we're thinking, oh, it's heat transfer vinyl, it's going on a shirt, we always have to mirror it. Caesar Easy Color DTV is a little bit different. It's going to print just like your regular print and cut. So if you were printing on sticker paper, if you were printing on cardstock and you were just doing a regular print and cut image, the Caesar DTV is going to be just like that. It has to come through your printer just the same, because we're picking it up off of the backing, pulling it over and pressing it onto the shirt. We're not taking it and flipping it upside down. That's when you mirror your image, is when you have to take something, for example, heat transfer vinyl, and you have to flip it upside down to put it on your mat. That's why we mirror, because it cuts backwards and then we flip it back over the right way and then it's correct. So this one, you are not going to mirror at all. No mirroring for printable heat transfer vinyl, or at least not Caesar Easy Color DTV. Now, right now would be a great time to.
It looks so pretty.
That looks beautiful.
Look how
those
gorgeous.
colors turned out phenomenal.
I know, I love the colors. I'm obsessed. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on here and send it to our machine, and then we can print the other one. So you're just gonna line this up to the top left corner. Make sure you're as close to lining it up accurately as you can possibly be. And then back on share screen, it's just letting us know we only need our fine point blade for this. No, nothing crazy. And then we're just gonna pop this into our Cricut. Okay. And then, oh, is there an update where the mirror is automatic? Like for HTV, if you select everyday iron-on?
I don't know.
That's a big deal. Okay, then once our play button lights up, we're just gonna hit enter, and then that will start cutting. The colors are gorge.
Has worn the snot out of that shirt.
Yeah.
You said every Saturday almost during football season, right?
Probably, yeah.
And it's been washed. First of all, this has been on a toddler, mind you.
Yeah.
You all know how toddlers are. Mm-hmm. They don't take care. They don't take care of their clothes. It's something on it all the time. So, what I was saying is the fact that you washed it, and then at one point there was like a corner that kept coming up. Right. But you wanted to see if it would press back down. So we pressed it back down so that it could now be passed on to be George's shirt.
Yeah, and it
it pressed back down beautifully after it had been washed multiple times.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild to me.
This didn't cut. I think my blade is messed up or something. I think it might not have been all the way down. I'm not 100% sure, because like it acted like it was cutting, but then it didn't. So we're gonna send, like it did, there's no like cut stuff on it. Now the backer on these is not sticky. It's like electrostatic. So that I peeled up that corner and it's like trying to come up. So we're gonna kind of babysit this. Because it's gonna try to scan those. I'm hoping it scans it still. Cross your fingers. Oh, I've never got my hair caught in the Cricut, but that would be a funny story to tell.
Would it be funny or would it be tragic?
It'd be funny later. It would be tragic today. I'm hoping it reads it. Really, I probably could have taped that down and it would be fine. But yeah, I thought it was amazing that you could just repress the shirt.
Now, Donna
And
did
then
have
go
a
back
very
on.
good suggestion. Donna said, after 24 hours, I hit my edges of the TV with a Teflon sheet and my mini Easy Press. I found it shrinks a tiny bit when it cools, so I double heat the edges now. No problems.
Nice. Okay.
Babysit that. Don't watch the comments. Babysit that piece of DTV,
Well,
please.
we already kind of got past the
okay.
corner, so
So
and
we're
it's
good?
cutting, so I'm feeling good.
Okay, okay.
Like, I don't know what it's doing here. Hello. Can you go grab my machine, maybe?
Yeah, let me just
Okay.
go grab a different machine really quick.
Yeah,
You'll have to go back and change from a
I'm gonna just send
Explorer
it to the printer again. Okay, we're gonna reprint this and change machines. Normally, like, we will troubleshoot stuff with you all on a live stream, but we could be here for a while, so I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna act like the machine worked just fine. I don't want to confuse you guys a bunch. So we're just gonna reprint this and cut it on the maker. Usually the Explorer 3 is really good though, so I'm not hating. The Explorer 3 is my second favorite machine. Oh, thanks. Here's this.
That one don't? Oh, that does.
This one don't.
No, we need the other one. Let me go grab mine.
Okay. We'll pop this baby down here, and then I'm gonna send this to the printer. All right. Okay, there was a critical error. We might have to go all the way out. You got it?
Let me turn my mic back on. Okay.
I'm gonna change this to, we are using a Maker, my personal favorite machine. This is my pride and joy.
Pride and joy. Here you go. She's
She's
not on
dirty
yet.
in the light. I don't see her.
She's a dirty girl.
Wow, throwback to that TikTok that you made forever ago. Lauren made a TikTok
Oh yeah,
about,
that was like one of our first TikToks we
this
ever
is
made.
Tammy, my dirty girl.
Dirty girl.
You know why they call her.
You know what they call her.
You know why they call her that. Okay, I thought I sent this to the printer, but maybe I didn't. Okay, print. And rear feed. And best quality, always print best quality. It's the only way. It's the only way to achieve the crispy colors. Those colors that we just printed, that's because we picked best quality. That's just
Okay, so Brandy, did you answer Brandy's question?
I'll
I'll answer it.
Nope.
Because if you thought it, so Brandy said, why is it cutting each image separately? That is because we did not put it, number one, if it was to cut it all out together, it would have had to have been flattened on a, let's say, a square or whatever. So it has to cut each image out separately, just like if we were cutting this out of HTV or permanent vinyl. Now, the secret sauce lays in the fact that when you weed it, you're going to use your strips. You're going to keep it down on the backing. That way you use your heat transfer mask to lay it down and keep it all together. It is perfectly fine. We want it to cut out each individual image. However, you're going to have to be very careful and very specific on how you cut your heat transfer mask and lay it down over each individual line, if that makes sense. And we'll get there, and it's going to start making a lot more sense when we start cutting it, when we start laying that heat transfer mask down and then start laying it on our shirt, okay? So, I'm gonna go through some of our other questions that we have. Let's see. Are you printing with ad bleed on? Yes, we are printing with ad bleed on. In case you missed that, the reason that we are printing with the bleed on with this one is because we are printing full color images, meaning we want that color to go all the way to the edge and we want zero room for error. So we want to make sure we have a little bit of extra color in case our machine is off by just a hair.
Okie dokie. So we're gonna use Roswell materials. We're gonna go printable, iron on light, done, and then we are going to send this into our machine. All right, and as you guys can see, like we also experience like normal hiccups with crafting, like it not cutting or like the colors being off and things like that. So
we did have someone ask, could you layer this on flock and using like the flock as the offset? I've never tried it. I don't know.
I don't know. Try it.
Also, who was it that said, oh, it was Tanya.
Talking about puff and flock.
About the flock coming off. Okay, number one, what were your heat settings on flock? Because if you pressed it with the same heat settings that you have to press puff with, I can promise you it's gonna come off because it was not hot enough. Flock has to actually get quite hot for it to press. Yes, because it's such a thicker material.
I've only pressed flock like 3 times. I haven't used flock a lot.
It just has to be a little bit hotter, or actually has to be hotter than puff, because puff, works at such a low temperature, like 280
10 seconds, yeah,
or even lower than that.
Yeah.
Flock, I want to say is, let me just look and tell you.
Okay.
Let me just look.
Do it. Okay. I'm gonna pre-press my shirt while that's cutting. Always pre-press your shirts. Word to the wise. Can y'all see me? Can you see me? I'm just gonna do it for like 10 seconds or so, just to get the moisture out. Getting the moisture out is the main thing. I was working with some puff the other day and I was like, I'll just skip the pre-press. Don't do that. Don't be like me. It did not adhere my puff as well, and it's just not a good choice.
Oh, it's not as hot as I thought, though. It's 310.
Oh, that's not bad. Huh. Okay, now I'm gonna weed this, and y'all can see the bleed right here. If I hold this up, y'all see how there's like a pink rim? That is the bleed. So now, when it cuts, the color goes all the way to the edge, rather than giving us any like whites off a little bit. Look how good it weeds. I mean, unmatched, truly. I love it. Now what I'm gonna do is, first of all, I hate putting transfer tape on while my vinyl is on the mat. You won't catch me doing that. I'll put the vinyl on while it's on the table. That's just who I am as a person. Do you put transfer tape on?
Do you want to go ahead and send that other one to the printer and let it be printing?
Yeah.
That way I can go grab it while you're doing all that.
Sure. Okay. We're going to print and we're going to
Beautiful.
Send it from the rear tray, best quality, and print. Okay. It's going. Now, this is my transfer tape. I just peeled off the backer. We're going to pop this guy on here. Okay, beautiful. And then we can actually separate these. I'm just gonna cut this like so. Ooh, I'm so excited. This is gonna be so cute. I'm gonna go ahead. I just like to trim this up as close as I possibly can, because I think we should press it all at one time, because you don't want to overwork the vinyl. So we'll see. Once we get that other one in here, we'll see. And you can even, like, if you don't have a heat press and you're just using like an iron, you can do them individually. I like to like lay it all out and make sure everything's exactly where I want it to be. Okay, beautiful. And y'all, you can see how like soft this material is. Even when you weed it, it's so bendy and it just flows with your shirt, which is why I really like it.
I love it.
Me too. Me too. It just feels good. Feels high quality, you know.
Me and Alicia were literally just talking about this earlier. We are crafty people for a reason. We're not just crafty in we can make things. I feel like if you're crafty and you can make things, you're also crafty and you can figure out how to reuse things and not waste so much money.
Yeah, like we're resourceful.
We're crafty If you are crafty, you're also very resourceful.
Yeah, it's like hand in hand, honestly.
Yes.
Nobody has any questions? Okay, cool. So I was just telling them, Lauren, I think I want to press it all at once.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to press, I'm going to like.
No,
so
I think that would be great to press it all at once.
I may just have to like trim up my, like if it overlaps with my transfer.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Oh, it's going to look so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm just weeding this off. I mean, this stuff weeds like butter. If you got your cut settings right, it weeds so good. Okay, and now we've got to put our transfer tape on this. Now I could, like y'all were asking, can I reuse it? I could technically reuse it, but I want to press this all at the same time. So I am going to put my own sheet, second sheet of transfer tape on here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it apart. And we're gonna lay all these on the t-shirt at once because we're gonna press them at once. So this is actually the right corner. Okay. So let me line them up and see where I might need to trim. We may not have to trim. I think this bottom of this pumpkin maybe. I'm going to trim the top of this bow right here because it's kind of overlapping. Honestly, this whole top edge, we're just going to cut this whole top edge out. I'm going to trim this one up too. Now, if this was just a toddler shirt, we wouldn't even really have to do this. Or if you had wide format, you wouldn't have to do any of this either. You would just print it on wide format and you'd be good to go. Okay. I think that's good. I think I want to start, I'm going to like lay these on there, but I really want to stick down that bottom layer first, personally. Okay. Do we have a t-shirt guide in here? We sure do. So this is just a t-shirt guide. It is, we'll go overhead. It's just gonna show you the center of your shirt, and this lines up with the collar so I know how much space to put in between. If you don't have one of these, you can print them off, just like literally anywhere on the internet, or you can use 3 fingers. This one's kind of 4 fingers, but 3 fingers has always been the rule since I've ever known. And I'm just going to place that there and then kind of, we're doing a sloppy copy or a rough draft. Okay. So I'm just lining that up. And then I need to pull my shirt up because this design goes really far down. Okay. And I already pre-pressed my shirt. Remember, we did that already. I'm gonna have to press these separately, right?
Is it just because
It's just
doesn't fit within the 15 by 15?
Yeah, no, because it's overlapping. Like even this transfer tape's gonna overlap. Do you see what I'm saying? Also, it's not grabbing. But you see how it's over, like the transfer tape's gonna overlap.
Well, it doesn't matter if the transfer tapes overlap as long as the backing of this doesn't, if there's not transfer tape underneath that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It doesn't matter that the transfer tapes overlap.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's peel. I'm going to peel this one off. I'm hoping the transfer tape is going to pick this up.
Ooh, I didn't mean to grab that one. While you do that one and place that one down, I'll come in here and burnish this side down.
Yeah, burnish the back for me.
Burnish it down.
So we're peeling the backer off. The backer.
Because I just think that's the only problem. Is it just needed
a little burnish.
a little burnishing.
A little burny. Okay. The good thing about heat transfer vinyl is it doesn't stick down. The only thing that'll stick is the transfer. So if you stick it down, you're like, ooh, that's not straight. You can pull it back up again and move it around. So the adhesive does not activate until you apply heat to it. Okay.
There's this little guy for you.
Oh my gosh, y'all are gonna die. These colors look so good. They look so cute. Okay.
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 Somebody did ask a question. This is a StarCraft. Oh no.
StarCraft, clamshell, heat press. Very expensive. Very loyal.
Not in stock.
Very demure.
Very cute.
Very out of stock.
Very demure. Very out of stock.
Yeah, probably out of stock. There's lots. Listen, at Heat
HTV
Source,
Raw is a great one.
They have a auto press too if you're not one that likes to pull down or if you have troubles with your shoulders and stuff. Brandy, right now we are going to press our shirt. Lauren is burnishing the back because the transfer tape did not want to come off.
Got it.
So we have our 3 little pieces we took off the back and now we're putting it onto our shirt and we're going to press it. Just making sure everything is lined up. Now, I'm going to take this t-shirt guide off because it's plastic. We don't want to melt that. But I can show you guys what the shirt looks like before we press it. Just because we're doing it with a weird design, I kind of want to show y'all. This is what it looks like. See, it's kind of like, this is why I was freaking out because I was like, wait, is it going to pull? So I've cut into it so that it's not going to overlap where the vinyl is, okay? Now, let's put this back on our heat press. I wish we had like an overhead camera so y'all could see what was going on.
Or like something we could move so you could see it on the heat press thing.
Yeah, better. But that's just how it is. Okay, you don't need a protective sheet technically. The transfer sheet is the protective sheet. Okay. Is this 60 seconds normally? I feel like I normally do 60 seconds. And we're at 280. It's set to 50, so the alarm may go off. And we'll just put it in there for 10 more seconds.
For like, you know.
We'll count to 10, it's fine. So 60 seconds.
No.
What?
Oh,
We're
no.
at 20.
15.
Beautiful. And this is a warm pill. This is a warm pill.
It is.
So we had 280 for
Warm to
15
hot.
seconds. It's a warm to hot pill. The colors, you guys, you just are not even going to believe it. They just look so good.
Was ours set to 280?
Yeah,
but
but
it says online that it is 310.
Well, I've done
But-
it at lower temp before, so I wasn't like really super worried about it
Yeah.
because I think I was doing some puff and printable.
That looks so cute.
Yeah.
You know that's in our size.
It is, isn't it? Ooh, it's so cute. Look. So Caesar website says 310
For 15 seconds.
Yeah, but we
if
did-
areas of design lift after application, replace cover sheet and repress for 5 to 10.
If what, you do that?
If areas of design lift
Yeah.
after application, replace the cover sheet and repress for 5 to 10 seconds.
Okay, but listen, we did this at lower temp for longer time and like
It's still.
it's giving.
It's giving.
Yeah, it like feels so good. It feels like a part of the shirt. Like I don't even know how to describe it to you guys. Does this not look incredible?
Now, you can do a second press on these with a Teflon sheet if you want, if for some reason you feel like you want to make it look a little bit more matte. You can do like a
It's
quick
pretty matte though.
Yeah, it is.
It's very matte.
Very cutesy, very demure, very...
I just love it. Okay. Okay, y'all. First of all, this was Courtney's idea. I'm just saying. This was so these shirts right here. If you didn't see in the thumbnail, I'm gonna hold it overhead in just a second. These shirts have been all over the place. I guarantee if you get on Etsy right now and search crew neck sweatshirt, this design's gonna pop up. This is a trending Etsy design. We have resources that let us know things that are trending. This is something that pops up all the time. And it's not just the anti-social mom social club. It's like any social club. So
Yeah.
whatever you do, if you're a pickleball girly or guy, it could be pickleball social club. Lauren liked one that I designed the other day that was Margarita Social Club.
Absolutely.
And then like I made one the other day that said Rocky Top Social Club. So when you start designing these, it's so fun because you can customize them like to whatever hobby or whatever thing, like iced coffee or I don't know. There's just different things that you can kind of correlate to these. But let's go overhead so I can show you exactly what we're going to be doing today. So this is the project. Now we're going to be using Canva to create this entire design, but we're going to be intertwining SVGs and PNGs today, okay? Because we're wanting to do this really intricate, like, piece right here. This has a lot of detail. It's not something I want to sit. I mean, can you imagine weeding those rib cages out? No, thank you. I'm going to show you the easiest way to get this, and I'm going to talk about how to match your offset color to your sweatshirt, and I'm going to talk about how to do the arch text. We're going to do font pairing. I love it. I think it's so cute. I'm going to sit this to the side, and y'all, you really don't need a whole lot of supplies. So we've got a sweatshirt here. This is my favorite crew neck sweatshirt, is the Fruit of the Loom, or the Hanes is really good.
Yes.
A Gildan is really good, but honestly, you pick whatever you like.
So are you creating another anti-social mom club today, or are you creating another social club one?
We can do another social club one.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
Yeah, we can do another. Listen, maybe whoever gives me the best social club idea.
Oh, I was going to make you do the margarita one for me to wear on the plane on to vacation.
Well, this is a small sweatshirt.
Okay, never
It's all we had
mind.
left. And this one's a medium. So I was like, well, who's going to, maybe I think Courtney can wear the medium.
Yeah. Courtney
This
can
is the
definitely
only
wear
size we had. So any small moms out there? Hello. Okay, so if you guys can give me the best social club, we're going to use that one today. I think that'll be really fun. So drop it in the comments. I want to see what you're going to do. Then he said, are you going to make the same exact thing? Or you're going to customize it? We're going to customize it. We're going to customize. I'm going to use the same fonts. We're just going to use like a different image and maybe different sayings. So you need a sweatshirt. You need some white HTV or whatever HTV complements your sweatshirt. I've got a Teflon sheet here. This is for my, my printable DTV. So we're using Caesar Easy Color DTV. If you're like, what the heck is that? I've linked everything in the description for you guys. So if you need any of these products, they're going to be linked in the description. Okay. And then I've just got a light grip mat. You can use a standard grip as well. And then I've got a weeding tool. So, and you just need your Cricut. You do need a printer if you're going to be using the Caesar Easy Color, but y'all, you don't have to do as detailed of an image as I did like with the skeleton. You could use a more simplified image, but we'll look at those when we get into Canva. That way you guys can kind of help decide what you want. So everything we have is here. So let's just jump into design space.
Yes.
So what we're going to need to do, I'm going to show you guys my design, my original design. So if you're just logging into Canva, this is going to be your home screen. Now, sometimes I like to revisit my projects and I'm like, where do I go? Well, you can scroll down here, but if you're ever somewhere else on Canva's website and you're like, how do I get back? You can go to this little 3 bars over here and select projects, and that'll take you to it. And then like all of your recent ones are just right here. And then there's folders. I'm just learning how to use folders because I just am bad about not using them. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff on our Canva. So let's just look for through our designs and find this one. Let's see here. Man.
Let me see.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay.
Good.
Cool.
Good.
Good. Okay. And I also want y'all to know that there was a few different ways I thought about doing this shirt. And I thought, well, we'll do DTF. We were going to do like the DTF powder and all that. And our printer would not work for me. And I get really angry at printers. Like, I don't get angry at a lot, but printers make me angry. They just strike a nerve. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be really cool because I'm going to be able to show you guys how to use SVGs and PNGs on the shirt. So I'm actually like, I feel like it was a happy accident. You know what I'm saying? So this is the design we're creating. Now look, I have already, I did tequila drinker.
That one is my favorite.
Should we do that one? I like it. Oh, I was getting crazy
I
and
love the
making my own
bows.
stuff. Yeah.
Very coquette.
So yeah, obviously you can do whatever you want, but what we're gonna need to do is start with a blank document. Now, we can measure our shirt and see about how big we want it. I'm actually gonna measure my design I did because I really like the size of this. Like, I feel like it's like the perfect oversized size, if that makes sense. It's not like huge, but it looks good. Where did I put that? Here it is. Okay, so I'm just measuring what I've already had, and you guys can kind of use this as your guideline too. Obviously, if you're making a kid's shirt, like, you are gonna need it to be smaller, but generally the adult size shirts can have the same, around about the same size design when you're doing something oversized like this. So this is about 12 by 12-ish. Okay, so let's just start. You know what? Did you show them resize yesterday in Magic Switch? You didn't?
No, because it's it's a pro feature. So.
Oh, it's a pro feature. I'm gonna show you guys anyways.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to create a new page, just add a page, and
But you know it resizes and switches everything.
well, so you have options.
Oh.
Yeah, so if I want to resize this to 12 by 12, I'm gonna come up here to resize and Magic Switch, and I'm gonna go to custom size and then change this to inches. I keep doing that, I'm so sorry. Change that to inches, and then we're gonna change this to 12 by 12 and then hit continue. And then it says copy and resize or resize this design. I'm gonna copy and resize because I like to keep my original. But then it's gonna say open 12 by 12, and then it's just like on a separate document. Cool, right?
Cool, cool, cool.
Cool, 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 cool. And then, yeah, so it resized all these to 12 by 12, which I think is really fancy and helpful. And then, yeah, so you've got this blank document. Now, if you're like, how do I just start from scratch creating documents? I wanna encourage you guys to go back and watch the last 3 days of boot camp because we've done that every single day for you all. So this is just another alternative way to get where you want to get. Okay, so let's start by pulling in the elements. Now we need to decide what social club we're doing. Do we want to do tequila drinkers social club?
Let's try something else.
You want to? Okay, what did we? Well, I didn't even see them all.
A lot of people are saying MGL Crafters Social Club, or
Okay.
just Crafters Social Club. I don't know. I think I would start with my images. But,
Well, I'm going to, but I need to
Hold
know
on.
what image to use. So we could do, if we did, let's say we did a crafter social club, like a crafty girl social club or crafty gals, crafty dudes, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go to elements and we're going to type in crafts. And I'm gonna click see all, and it's gonna show me all these graphics. Now, it's gonna give me all of these like crazy colored graphics, but what is really popular is picking illustrative graphics for these. So I'm gonna do crafts illustration, or even craft drawing. We could do like scissors would be cute. Let's try scissor drawing. This is the fun part in my opinion.
mm-hmm.
Like these old scissors, those are so cool. Those are cool. And then let's see what else we've got here. Introvert social club. Yes, Sally, I feel that. This is like some hands with scissors. That's kind of cool. Let's X off of that. So I'm just kind of browsing. And listen, you can play around, look around.
Do measuring tape.
Oh, measuring tape would be cute. I was looking for
Oh, that's pretty.
this one.
Yeah, I think I like that.
That's
with
kinda
the
cool.
little things to the side.
Yeah.
You can change the color too,
Right.
so we can see it a little bit better.
I'm gonna
Maybe just change it to
do
black right now.
black show up the best. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not married to that one.
Now that you've made it black, I'm not either.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, Lauren. Oh, but it's got this thing through the middle of it. No. Me and Lauren are like obsessed with traditional style tattoo stuff right now. What is this one? That's interesting. Okay. What is something do a few designs. Patty's like, just do it all. Just do everything. So you can pick like a simple design. Oh my gosh, you could do like a Mickey Mouse social club. I like super low key, high key love these, but I want to add flowers. Let's just go look. If we can't find any, we're gonna do like an iced coffee social club situation. So this is the beauty in Canva. You can kind of get on here and scroll around. If you're a Makers Gonna Learn member, you can also scroll on our website and use anything from there. Let's do like floral illustration. I put illustration because usually it means it's going to be in like black and white or something like that.
Or it's going to look more hand-drawn, which is what these, I mean, you can do like drink illustrations.
Oh, the drink illustrations are really cute.
Yeah.
Okay. I love.
You could just do like a
Martini social
no,
club.
do that old-fashioned
Okay.
and just do like an old-fashioned social club.
That's cute. Okay, let's do that. I love an old-fashioned. Okay, so this is just a little old-fashioned. And I'm just gonna keep that there for now. We can play with the sizing after we get all of our elements on here. Y'all know I like to bring in all my elements first and then kind of resize accordingly. So I'm going to hit the text box over here. I'm gonna hit add a text box. And then I like to go ahead and size it up so I can see what the heck I'm doing because it's hard to read. And we're gonna type in old-fashioned. Okay, old-fashioned. And this Anderson font is one of the fonts we're using, but not for that area. We're gonna be using Estuary because y'all know I love Estuary. I get married to a font and I cannot release it. I can't be controlled. I love Estuary. It's my favorite font ever. Besides Groovy Moves. I'll never not love Groovy Moves.
I know.
And then Social Club is this opulent font. So let's change that to opulent and I'm gonna type in Social Club. These are meant to look kind of ritzy and like old school, old fashioned. Imagine.
I know.
And then we're just gonna drag this up. Now, if you're ever like, I don't think I can do that, I really, really wanna encourage you all to find something that you love, especially if you're a craft seller. If you are wanting to sell something that's trending, pull in a photo of whatever you're wanting to make and just recreate it. Like look at it, recreate, look at it, copy it. I mean, just look at it and see what elements does it have? How big are they? What fonts are they using? How can I use what I have to recreate that same design? I mean, that's what we've done here. These Social Club shirts are everywhere. Like, I'm not trying to recreate the wheel, you know? I'm just putting out what everybody wants. This is what everybody loves right now. And these are similar fonts to what are already on the shirts that are popular.
I would also add for these shirts, something else that is really popular is having those like laurel wreath extras on the side of your illustration.
Yeah, we can add those in too. Here, I'm gonna do established. And this is in the Anderson font. And 2024. What year were you born? 92?
1992.
I feel like that would be cooler to put your year you were born. Okay, and then let's go get some filigree. Am I spelling that right? Oh, who knows? Who knows? So they have, a lot of them have these like frilly filigree situations, even like filigree leaves. I might just have to search like olive branch
like
leaves. Laurel wreath.
Yeah, illustration. That right there.
Like this one. Yeah, lots of them have this. Oh, that's cute because it's like little and compact, the little old-fashioned is.
Yes.
Okay, cutesy cutesy. Look at us. Y'all, it's like not even two. It's not even two. Like we're doing good. Okay, cool. Beans. Now, we're getting somewhere, right? I forgot my period and my EST. Let's add that in. I'm just making sure everything's spaced right. I love using these guidelines. I want you all to pay attention right here. Do you see the 0.115? That's letting me know that established is equally spaced away from that like they're equally spaced. Established in 1992 are equally spaced. If it's not going to pop up that number. But I like to use that as like a guide to know that they're exactly where they need to be. And you can even see those lines that go straight across. That helps me see as well. So now we're going to add some text to the bottom. Let's put...
The older, the better.
Oh, older and wiser. You like the older, the better?
You could do that, or you could just do like the, what's in it, like whiskey bitters, simple syrup.
Oh no, I like a catchphrase.
Okay, I mean,
like on my tequila one, I put in tequila we trust. We could put like in whiskey we trust.
but I think I like,
aged like, ooh,
Aged
aged
like
to
a-
perfection. Aged
yes,
to perfection.
Age
Okay.
to perfection. I like it.
Okay, cute. Aged.
Aged.
Okay, and honestly, I want to make this smaller, and I want to add some spacing in between the letters because it's so like in the middle. I want to add some spacing. So select your text box if you want to add spacing in between your letters for any reason, and then come up here to this little guy, hit spacing, and you can move your letters out just a little bit. Kind of gives it a different vibe. Okay, I want to show you guys a cool trick. I love doing this in Canva. So you know how I added space in between those letters? Well, I feel like we're using that same Anderson font up here, and I want to get the same exact style that I have down here onto these. What I mean by that is I'm going to select this text box, hit Control or Command click, or even like right click if you have a right clicker, and we're going to go to Copy Style. Sorry, I keep zooming in. I don't know why I keep doing that. Copy Style. And then it's going to turn into this little roller brush. Okay. How cute is that? Then I'm going to click on this 1992. I want you guys to watch what happens. So this is before. This is after. Magic. And then it goes away. So if I wanted to do this one, I'm going to come down here, hit Control, and then hit Copy Style. And it's going to carry it to that one. So I feel like that kind of marries these to this, which is a good like design thing to follow, design principle to follow. And then, you know what? I'm gonna get these lined up really well because in my brain, established 1992, the laurel wreath and the old fashioned are kind of like an image in their self. So I'm gonna get them lined up where I want them, and then I'm gonna group these together, and then we'll center everything. Here, if you want, you can select this one, and then I'm gonna select this other one. Hold the Shift key down. That'll allow you to select two boxes at once. And then you can go to position. If you're ever trying to figure out where the align tools are, they're always under position. And then we're going to align it to the middle. Okay. And then I'm gonna kind of space it nicely. Now that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm gonna select everything that I want, and then I'm gonna hit group. So this is all one unit, and I don't have to worry about like any of it moving around or anything like that. So we're just gonna keep that right there. Now, the last thing that we need to do is curve our old-fashioned text. So I feel like we did this earlier in the week, maybe not. I love the curve feature. I use this all the time in Canva. So you're going to select that. We're gonna go to Effects, and then down here, there's Shape, and that's gonna curve your text. Now that's a little too curved in my opinion. So I'm going to kind of widen it a little bit. And that looks...
Move it to the left a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like off center.
There it is.
It needs to be less curved still. I just want it to be like barely.
There you go.
Okay, let's select everything, go to position, and we're gonna align it to center this time. Okay,
Beautiful.
and now I want to show you guys. Sometimes when you align, because these it looks a little weird.
Yeah, because the social club is a little different.
Yeah, because like these fonts where they stick out, they base it around the widest part of your text.
Right.
So sometimes you just got to get in there and eyeball it. And I don't have a problem doing that because I'm an eyeballer. because I feel like I know better than this design
I still
software.
think you went too far to the right with the old fashioned.
I know it's doing something.
Keep going back to the left.
I'm gonna
Right there and down one. Right there.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. I also feel, Lauren, I'm gonna add some space in these letters, and I'm gonna do something else. Okay. Let's add like a hair of space because something is off to me. Okay. I feel good about that.
Yeah, I like that.
Age to perfection should go a little lower. Okay, Erica, I hear you, girl. Okay, and something else that I like to do, especially because we're about to be cutting these letters out of vinyl. If we zoom in, you can see these little areas right here are so thin, and this font is notorious for, like, when you weed it, it will tear because it's just so thin. So what I like to do is just click the text box, go to effects again, and we're gonna go to outline, and I'm gonna change this outline to black. And that's way too thick, but I can lower this down. So this kind of adds a stroke. Obviously, you can bring it all the way up if you're feeling crazy.
So this is like the hack that we do in Design Space where we add an offset and then use the offset. This is kind of the same thing. We're just changing the outline to the same color as the text so that it gives it a thicker look.
Yeah, it just like tricks it, you know? So I just feel like this looks pretty cute. I love it. What I'm gonna do next is duplicate my page, okay? Then I'm going to delete everything except for the cup. Okay, so we're gonna be saving the cup. Now I'm gonna go to share, download, and we're gonna be saving this as a PNG. If you don't have Canva Pro, before you save it, you need to change your background to white. Okay, I'll just do it now. Why not? We'll change it to white. So go download PNG, and then on select pages, we're gonna deselect all of them, scroll to the bottom, and we're just gonna save this little glass. And then we're gonna hit done. What we're doing right now is setting ourselves up to create a print and cut because we don't want to weed that out. I mean, if you wanna weed that out, listen, it's your life. But like, I'm not doing it. Not today. Not today.
No.
And then what I'm gonna do now, I've already saved that. I'm going to duplicate again. I just don't wanna mess up my initial design. That's why I'm duplicating. And then I'm gonna get rid of our little glass guy here. And we'll just bump this back up. Okay. Now, we can change this to white. I'm going to go share, download, SVG. If you have the free version, you can do this as a PNG. We went over this exact scenario on Monday's bootcamp class. So if you missed that, I want you to go back and watch it because you can save it as a PNG and then still upload it and cut it as if it were an SVG. But we're gonna export this as an SVG for this tutorial. So if you wanna learn how to do it that way, you can go back and watch Monday's tutorial. It's very easy, you guys. I'm gonna deselect all the pages and then just select the page of what we want. And then I'll hit done and hit download. Beautiful. Now we have our two sections. So we've got our print and cut section and we have our SVG section. Let's go into Cricut Design Space now. So I'm gonna go to upload. So we're in Cricut Design Space. And then I'm gonna upload image. And we're just gonna drag and drop.
Drag and drop.
Drag and drop. I'm gonna pull in this SVG first.
So did you download it as an SVG or did you download it as a PNG? I was not looking.
I downloaded it as SVG.
Okay.
Why does it look like that though?
Did you do it with a background? Did you remove the background?
No.
Are you sure?
Whoa, buddy.
You didn't remove the background.
Okay, let's retry. So download.
Technically, they could do it as a PNG because none of those are touching each other.
Right. Technically, you could.
Technically. Because when you change it, I've noticed if you click take out the background and then change it to SVG, it unchecks it.
Yes.
That happened to me once or twice.
hold on, where somebody said something. Oh, Janice, this is a really good time to just pop this in here. Educators do get Canva Pro for free, but you have to use it for education purposes.
According to what they say.
According to what they say, but who's going to know?
There's millions of Canva users, first of all.
Yeah. Listen, I say it's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
We are telling you officially, we are officially telling you that per what the Canva stuff says, you have to use it for educational purposes.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, that's what we are officially saying. Mm-hmm. You do with that what you will.
Yeah.
You do, I mean, I've not heard of the Canva police personally, but that's neither here nor there.
Me neither.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so I got the SVG. Hit continue, hit upload, and then it's just gonna pop in. Now, we sized it and got all crazy with it in Canva, and then we pull it into Canva, and first of all, what are you doing? What is it doing?
Go down to your layers, open up your layers.
It's like an extra layer.
Because this is what when you pull SVGs in, you're gonna have to, yeah. I don't know, sometimes it does this weird thing with the curve.
It's like stress. It's like, I'm just gonna put 2. I can't control myself. Hold on, I deleted the wrong L. I'm just going through and deleting these. So I ungrouped it. Old.
That's the extra O you need to delete. Old fashioned.
I thought old fashioned.
Now, listen closely, peeps, because this next part you must do before you do anything else.
Yeah, because Lord help us. I just want to show you guys what would happen if we didn't do anything. If we were like, oh, that looks perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go cut it. We're ready to go.
Oh, it looks perfect.
Wow, this is amazing. I did such a good job. Okay, hold on.
And then what happened?
Okay. Yeah, so I want you guys to drop in the comments what I should do. I would love to know. What's the next step here besides going back? Because obviously something's wrong. So you're going to need to select everything. Drop it in the comments in 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Combine.
And then you're going to, yeah, you can combine and unite, or you can attach. Either way. Or I could have went combine unite. You could technically weld, but you can't undo weld. And, you know, we don't like to. I'm not trying to get married. You know, I just want to be. I want to be on a date. I don't want to get married and like not be able to undo my work. Okay. Yes. Yay. Unite and attach are both right answers. Okay. Cool. See, you guys are listening. You guys are listening. And then now we need to pull in our little old fashioned. So I'm gonna go to upload image. And we're going to drag and drop our little glass. He's so cute. And then I'm going to remove the background. I have Cricut access, so I can do that.
Or if you don't.
There you go. You can just select it. If you don't, you can just select it.
Now, this is one of those that it still has the white in between.
Yes. Here, let me zoom in.
So just be careful.
Sometimes it'll like remove your background of your... Like, because it thinks like this white might be your background or something. It didn't for us, thank gosh, but it's okay. This is perfect. It did it exactly how we wanted. I'm gonna hit apply and continue, and we're gonna be using the flat graphic here. Someone said pray. You guys are so funny. Okay, hit continue, and then we're gonna upload it, and I think it's probably gonna come in kind of big. Oh.
Nope, perfect.
Maybe
a little.
A touch big, but okay, that's cute. And actually I'm gonna make it like a hair smaller because we need to add an offset to this.
Change your background color from white to like a gray.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it to the beige, the color of our sweatshirt. Close enough.
Cool.
Okay, so hypothetically speaking, it's going to be white. It's going to be white on there, but I still think it's going to look good.
Yes.
I think it's still going to be fine. And actually, we don't technically need to add an offset to this. Now, if you have an image that, like the skeleton, for example, I want to show you guys what you do need to do, because there are going to be images that some of you all use that you're going to need to do what I'm about to show you. So let's go to recent uploads, because I think that skeleton is in here. Here he is. Let's add him. This is a canvas skeleton that I used, and we used Maker's Gonna Learn fonts. But I just want y'all to look at this. So this is a print then cut. I'm not gonna cut that. Everything that's brown behind there is getting cut out. Like, I'm not doing it. So what I did was selected my image, and I'm going to add an offset. And nothing big, like honestly as small as I could probably do it, like a 0.05. You can test. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. A 0.05 offset, okay? And then I'm going to hit apply. And there's some holes in there. So what I'm gonna do is, right now our offset is set to print then cut. I'm gonna go up here to operation, change it to a basic cut. It's gonna gray it out. And then I can contour. So if it's set to print then cut, it's not gonna allow you to contour out all those little pieces. And I'm gonna hit hide all contours. This is just gonna give me a solid outline. And then I'm gonna change the color of the offset to match my sweatshirt. So you can go get a hex code for your sweatshirt. You can eyeball it if you want to. I eyeballed the first one I made of these, and then I got the hex code, and the hex code still didn't match. So honestly, eyeballing it is probably your best bet. I mean, you're just gonna have to get as close as you can. Okay, that's why we made the offset so little, because you really, I mean, if we go overhead, like, obviously that beige is not the same color, but I do not think that looks bad at all. And it's because my offset's so skinny, you know?
Right.
So anyways, change the color of your offset, and then you're gonna select the skeleton plus the offset. So we have both layers selected, and you can flatten it. That's gonna turn this into a print then cut image, okay? So when we go to make it, that's gonna go onto a mat to be printed. It's gonna tell you need to print it, and then it's gonna cut it out. So I wanna show you guys, cross your fingers, I wanna show you what this skeleton's gonna look like over here. So both of these are coming out as print then cuts. Now I didn't need to do an offset for this one because the cut is gonna go around my little cup on its own.
Right.
But the skeleton had those open spaces, so I added the offset and then flattened it to the offset. So the offset creates that cut line around the skeleton without me having to go in here and cut and weed all these little rib cage pieces. So I'm gonna hide the skeleton because we're not actually using him. I'm just gonna scooch that up. And then you can see here, this landed perfectly sized. Yeah, this is perfect. I do need to mirror my HTV. I do not need to mirror my printable DTV.
No.
No mirroring for printable heat transfers. Like, I don't think there's any. I don't think I ever mirror those.
Yes.
But your HTV does need to be mirrored, okay? We're gonna add a bleed. We're gonna use the system dialog box always, and then I'm gonna hit print. And the dialog box is gonna pop up, sometimes behind design space. We're gonna feed it from the rear tray.
And that photo paper. I'm telling you, it makes such a difference.
It does.
It has been here recently.
Yeah. Media type photo paper, and then best quality.
Even if it's not shiny, but y'all, truly, if you're doing shiny stickers, turn it on that photo paper because
it just like richens it.
It does. Those stickers that I made yesterday, I turned it on to photo paper. You should have seen how good of a quality they were before I put the laminate sheet over top of them.
Really?
It was delectable.
I love when we like do one little tweak and it makes something so much better. So y'all seen the image in Cricut Design Space, but look at the bleed. See the black edge, how it kind of like just fizzles out on the edges? That's the bleed. All of that is the bleed. So from here, we need to get our mat. And this is that Caesar Easy Color DTV. It looks like an off-white on the back and it's a bright white on the front. And we are just going to line this up on our mat. And get a burnishing tool. Actually, I'm gonna bray it. I like braying things with ink because I feel like
I have a quick question just for you.
Me? Okay.
When did you wash your hair last?
When?
Yeah. Was it yesterday?
No.
Okay.
Why? It was Saturday.
Okay, somebody said, this might be weird, but y'all's hair looks amazing today. Shampoo commercial level awesome. And I wanted to be like, oh, I just washed mine last night. That's why.
Did you wash yours last night?
I washed mine last night.
That's hilarious. My hair does better the less I wash it.
I think we're
Like a fresh wash day is not that good, but 3
Right.
days post wash, midweek, Wednesday is going to be my best hair day forecast.
Yeah.
Honestly. In Cricut, I'm going to go to browse all materials. We're going to be using printable, and there's lots of printables, but I'm going to use printable iron-on dark. I just always use that. You can use light too. I think it's the same, honestly, like the same settings. I don't really know what would be different, but I always use dark and it works really good. So that's what we're going to do. Also, played around with Tech Wraps, printable iron-on for darks, and it's like really good. Okay, I'm putting shiny side down. This is our HTV, shiny side down. Carrier sheet side down, to be specific. And then I'm gonna put this on here. And we are going to trim it off. Trim it off. Oh gosh, Becky. Okay, there we go. This blade, can you tell I'm not right-handed? I can't hold this blade very good. Okay. And then we made sure to make sure you mirrored your HTV, and then we're gonna put it in, and we're gonna change our cut settings to everyday iron-on, and then we will have to cut it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna take forever to cut, but we didn't weed this yet, so I want you guys to look. So I'm gonna weed this, and you're gonna be able to really see where that bleed was. Y'all see, I'm gonna put my hand under here so you can really see the bleed went all the way out. It carried it all the way out. Now, if our calibration was off at all, we didn't have that bleed on, there might be white around the edges. So I'm not gonna take this off of here yet. The transfer sheet for these, or the carrier sheet for these, is not sticky. So if I pull this off, it's just gonna be like a limp piece of vinyl. This just has such an interesting feel. You can kind of see like how thin it is.
Yes.
So very, very thin and soft.
Now, one thing with the Caesar DTV, if there are multiple pieces that you want to keep together, they do have what they call TTD, or a like transfer tape specifically for, let's be clear, I don't think you have to get their brand transfer tape. We have used other heat transfer tape. You cannot use regular transfer tape with this. But if for some reason there were multiple pieces to your printable HTV, you do need to have some type of transfer tape to pick it all up together to put on your shirt. For this one, because it is one solid piece, it is okay for us to pick it up with our fingers, place it down where we want it, and then add you can even use some heat tape to secure it down, and then add the Teflon sheet over top of it to iron it down.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, they have, I'm trying to think, we bought another brand of it's heat transfer tape, and then the Caesar brand has the Caesar TTD. But yeah, we use them often. Like, we need them pretty frequently. But for these, since they don't have that protective sheet, that's why I brought in a Teflon sheet, because I'm not using heat resistant transfer tape. So I cannot just go in here with our mini easy press and like iron on here, or it's gonna melt my vinyl. Okay, this works just the same as heat transfer vinyl. It will melt without some type of protective something over top of it. And while that's cutting, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my mini easy press to the second.
Did you remind them about how you have to wait? Because Donna, and I do want to remind you guys as well, Donna said the Caesar DTV feels so good on t-shirts too. It truly does. The only thing is, do not wash it before your 24 hours is over. You need to let it sit for 24 hours.
Yes,
actually, that's a must.
Yeah, it'll come off.
It will come right off.
But also what's cool is that you can iron it back on.
Yeah, you can.
Like I had made Ruby some shirts with some like Georgia Bulldog shirts, and the little Bulldog came off because I washed it for 24 hours. Ironed it back on, and it literally just went back on. I was like, that's interesting. Because that tells me the adhesive is still like there.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Okay.
Washed the sweater before, so you know us here. If you are selling your shirt, we do highly suggest, actually really anything, you either need to purchase pre-washed shirts or pre-shrunk. If it's pre-shrunk, that means that when you do put it in the wash, it's not going to shrink up. But if you do not have pre-shrunk or pre-washed cotton and you put something on it, then you take a risk of it shrinking and like shriveling up. One thing that I have noticed is sweatshirts are not as bad to shrink or shrivel as t-shirts are. Especially like Heather t-shirts are very bad because they're so thin.
Yeah.
They're the worst to shrink and make your HTV shrivel up if you've not pre-washed it. But sweatshirts are not near as bad, in my opinion.
I concur. Okay, so I'm just gonna weed all this off.
I'm loving all of these things that you say you are making. We've got somebody's wanting to do a Jeep club, a genealogy social club.
Oh!
I love it.
Wait, I'm gonna sound so stupid. Genealogy, like your heritage?
Yes.
That's
yes.
cool.
And on the bottom, the little tagline says, "Got ancestors."
That's hilarious. I love it. We should do a, I'm trying to think what it could be. Like Valaris Social Club.
Yes. Why didn't we think of that?
I
And do
don't
the 3
know.
mountains. Do the mountains with the 3 stars.
That would have been so good. Okay, well, we'll do another one. I'm gonna have to make a Valaris shirt anyways.
I know.
I seen that one I sent you the other day, and I was
Cereal social club.
I'm gonna use this pen tool to weed out the innards of these letters. Just a little bit easier. And I'm gonna say, I saved this as an SVG, and I don't think that it saved where I added that effect around my letters, but they cut fine, so that's good.
Good.
But they're very thin. Okay, I got my t-shirt guide. I'm gonna line that up with the middle.
True crime social club would have been a good one with like a bloody hand in the middle, or like a handprint with the blood on the
Yes.
that
Or
one.
Spooky Girl Social Club, because
Spooky
I
Girl.
love Halloween. We all love Halloween around here. Okay, I'm gonna fold this in half. Just a little trick of the trade here. I'm gonna line up my laurel wreath because I think that's probably the most middle. And then
Bobby Jean said, I need to do it. Did you forget something with the A? Did you?
no.
Okay, you got it. Bobby Jean said, I need to do a breast cancer awareness social club. What if you did a survivor social club and like a breast cancer ribbon inside? That one would be cute. And instead of established, you could put defeated and then the year you beat cancer.
That's a good idea.
I love that.
See, this is why we all need to put our brains together.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and iron this on. Now, if y'all have been around here for any amount of time, you've probably seen us do HTV on shirts. I like to see the bubbles come up. You can kind of see bubbles underneath the surface of the transfer tape. A lot of people don't like to move their press around, but that's just, your prerogative. I like to move mine around a little bit.
Yes, for sure.
And then I'm gonna do a warm peel slowly, in case something is not down all the way. Okay, do not throw your transfer tape away. You're gonna need to save it. Actually, you don't really. I don't like to throw it away until I'm done anyways,
Yeah.
just in case you need to protect it.
And here's the thing, you could even use that transfer tape over top of this DTV to protect it instead of a Teflon sheet if you wanted to.
You technically could. So you're just gonna kind of line that up.
I don't know that I wouldn't just put it on the transfer tape and then line it up.
I know, that's my, okay. So
I would do it in the middle. That way you're covering everything up. Do you know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, smart.
Work smarter, not harder.
I was gonna put it on the edge and then put the Teflon sheet over everything, but.
I would just put it in the middle and then put you probably even could have, instead of peeling it off the back, once you weeded everything, you probably could have lined it up and just ironed it all together.
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
But
I love that crystal glass that's in. It looks so much better even in real life.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Satisfying. Okay, I'm obsessed with this.
I love it.
Okay, cool beans here. I'll go put it overhead. This is the one we made today. This is the one we made for the sample. So I better be seeing y'all's in the group.
Yes. I want to see them.
Okay, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. I took my shoes off.